Live. There we go. Are we live now? It'd be great if one of you could tell me if I'm live. Alrighty. I think I'm live streaming. I think it's happening. Live. There we go. Alright, I'll close that. I forgot to hit the start streaming button, which doesn't help. Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Julian. I am the lead developer of Lens Island, and I'm going to play through the demo. We just launched it on Steam, so I've put in the description of this video the link to download it, so you can download it for free right now. It will be available until the 22nd, so you've got a week. You've got a week to play the demo, and yeah, look, we've been spending our whole lives working on this demo. So hopefully you enjoy it. And I'm going to play through it. I'm going to answer all your questions and go from there. So if you have any questions before I start getting into gameplay, now's the time to ask them. And I'll go through and just sort of have a bit of a chat to you all before I get into it. But I'm just going to play through the demo and like just chat about the game and get excited, you know? It's just, it's all happening. It's all happening. We've had lots of people playing the game and uploading YouTube videos and stuff lately. It's been really fun to see the way all the different people play the game. I'm not used to seeing, I like watching videos of people play Lens Island and playing it in completely different ways, which is pretty cool. Alright, what are you all saying? Hello everybody, hello. What inspired me to make it? A few things, but by the way, is the sound alright? I think, I've literally never streamed before. I've just sort of put this all together, so I hope the levels are okay. If my mic's too loud, if it's too soft, if the game's too loud, too soft, let me know. But yeah, what inspired me to make Lens Island, Eddie? A few things. One, just being the fact that a game, up until like I've started working on Lens Island, there was no games that really filled that void for me. Like I felt like Lens Island is a game that doesn't exist yet, which it definitely doesn't. It's sort of a blend of genres that I've always wanted. And to be honest, the core at Lens Island was I was so sick of making game projects and then not finishing them. So I sort of told myself, I'm going to make the biggest possible brief for a game project that's like a really crazy game, and I'm just going to finish it no matter what it takes. I don't care if I kill myself, which, funnily enough, I almost did through stress the other day. I won't talk about it too much, but I've been having heart problems lately, which has been a whole ordeal. But anyway, I just got to keep making this game until it's done, and now it's actually getting me pretty close to done. So I've almost achieved my goal, which would be nice. Okay. Oh, the louds are kind of loud. Okay, I'll turn down the mic. Sorry. I don't know how to. This is my first time streaming. I have no idea how any of this works. I'll turn it down a little bit, and hopefully it's not too crazy when I scream. It's not multiplayer. I'm sorry. It is just single player. We would love to make it multiplayer in the future though. So, like multiplayer is one of the really big things that obviously we know would really love to add to the game. Whether that, and I think our idea for multiplayer is probably a lot different to what a lot of other people want. So when other people think of multiplayer with Lens Island, they think co-op, you know, you and your friend on an island together building a house, which is something that might work. Although my idea of multiplayer is for what I would like to add into the game into the future would essentially be if any of you have seen Rick and Morty, there's the Citadel of Ricks where it's like this city that all of the it's like a parallel universes and all the Ricks, all of the same person from across the universes come sort of say hello at this one city. That's what I imagine multiplayer Lens Island to be. Basically, like a city where all the lens can come sort of play with each other, and you can like fight and like battle other lens and do quests together and basically join like a lobby with other people all across the world and play with them. Okay, I've got to catch up on some questions. Found your dev channel a few days ago and watched all your videos. I have to say you inspired me. Cheers and good luck. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I get that thing a lot, which is awesome. That sort of really makes me really happy hearing that, because I'm just a dude. Like I'm just a guy that went to university and likes art and started a YouTube channel. I'm nothing special. I just work really hard. So if you guys work really hard, you can make a game. How much will it be? It'll be around $29 USD. Yeah, so it'll be always under $30 at launch. So it's like a $20 game. But that will also depend on what currency that you have. Oh, it's too quiet now. I'll put it up a little bit. I'm sorry. I get excited and then I start yelling. So it's either too it's too loud or too quiet. All right, everyone, 100 viewers. That's awesome. I've never done a live stream, so I feel like we're going pretty good for my first live stream. 100 viewers is awesome. Um, let's read some more questions. What percentage do you think the game is at? So if you didn't know, we are launching Lens Island into early access. It will be a finished game. It will have a lot more playtime than 90% of the other games out there that are just fully done. But yeah, like it's just two people making Lens Island effectively. Like the actual developers is me, like myself, and then Martin, who's the lead programmer, and we're the ones that are sitting here every day, all day, making Lens Island. We also have two other people, Lars and Ivan, who help out, but they're sort of on the other side of the world, like, you know, making music and making some like stuff for us, but they don't actually make the game. So it takes a while to work on Lens Island. So the game we're launching in October is going to be an awesome game, though it's like 50% of the game that we see Lens Island being like a finished game. So there's a lot that we're going to add into Lens Island after launch in October, and then we will officially launch the game as a full release, probably like a year or two after after this October, because there's a whole bunch of stuff we want to include. Off the top of my head, way more building, way more decorations, bigger dungeons, more types of weapons and enemies and stuff. There'll be fishing, there'll be a lot more extensive farming. There will be a lot more extensive stuff to interact with NPCs. You'll be able to have NPCs on the island with you. Pets, we want to include pets. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we'll be including soon after release, and then also maybe in the future multiplayer. So I would say about 50%. But saying that, it's a really good 50%. The 50% is a lot funner than a lot of other 100%. So, yeah. Okay, you have bees in the trees. Yes, there are bees. The bees have been so funny seeing people react to bees when they get bees knocking down trees. You will be able to see the beehives in the full game though. For now, they're just a fun surprise. Okay, so I've got to catch up on all these comments. How much feature creep happened? Not much, to be honest. I'd say if anything, it's a complete opposite. My vision for Lens Island was a little bit, I guess it's sort of two things that happened while creating Lens Island. The original idea for Lens Island was definitely a smaller game than what it's turned out to be right now. And then over time, when you start actually creating a game and thinking of it less as like a fun little side project and more as a fully released public game, you start to realize that a lot of your original thoughts just aren't going to work in sort of like a big scale. So the game has naturally gotten bigger and bigger and a lot more complex over time, though we've also had to really, really cull back features and sort of hone it in over time too. So it's been a sort of like a bit of a battle between expanding the game enough to make it a good game that can stand on its own 2 feet, because obviously like the game that we've made now is very, very different to the original idea that I had in my head 4 or 5 years ago. Because the original idea I had in my head 4 or 5 years ago, it wasn't sort of fleshed out. It wasn't as in-depth as what we have now. And so it's between that and then also just between, feature creep and knowing what features to cut or leave in, depending on if we can sort of get them done in time. It's hard. It's really hard. Okay. Why not using WASD? That's a big thing, actually. Yeah, so that's one of the biggest sticking points with me personally, and then also with like people playing the game, is the whole WASD thing. And the original reason why we don't have WASD to move is because Lens Island isn't a WASD game. Like simply put, if you played a MOBA before or any other types of game, even like Diablo, those games are played with a mouse. It's all navigated through a mouse, and the game plays much better because of that. And then there are other games that do WASD, and then there's some games that do both as well. And Lens Island falls more in that sort of MOBA, Diablo style category of like a movement system, where it's a lot more agile. You can turn in any direction you want, you can jump, there's completely fluid movement that's controlled by the player, and it's not all navigational based. It's not like something like League of Legends, where you just click in one place and then your character automatically move across the map. So we've thought about adding WASD in the future. We're still not sure. I would prefer not to, because although it might be more comfortable for some people to use WASD, the game just doesn't play as well. Like, the game is more fun using your mouse. Although it might be hard to hear, and you might not believe that if you love WASD, it literally is. The game is harder to play, especially when you're fighting and when you're doing parkour and stuff. And it's just a lot more sort of finicky. So we'll see. I'm open to adding it in the future as like an option for people that really, really need it. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Well, there's so many of you here. It's awesome, awesome. Keep the questions coming. I'll answer as many questions as I can for the first, 30 minutes or something, and then I'll start playing the demo, and I'll answer more questions and sort of play through the demo with you all. But the demo's live, so if you come here a little bit later, you can go download the demo on Steam right now. The link is in the description of this video, and enjoy. It closes on the 22nd of this month, so you got to get in quick. Okay. Any plans for games after Lens Island? Not like yes, but no. It's all contingent on how well Lens Island does. I would like to keep developing Lens Island for at very minimum 2 years after we launch it in October. And then depending on if the game's going well and people really like the updates, we'll keep updating it. And then depending on how it goes, maybe we'll start working on another game, Lens Island 2. I don't know. Bring back the surfer bug. Yeah, that was an amazing bug. When we first made the shields, we forgot to lock movement, so you could like hold a shield and then just like surf around the map. Can you modify it? You can't modify the terrain. So this isn't, Lens Island isn't a procedural world or anything. It's sort of another sticking point that I personally have with games. I don't really like procedural generation, personally. I understand why people use them in games, and they definitely serve like a really good purpose. But every tree and blade of grass and rock in Lens Island is hand placed by me. Like, we literally, I don't use a terrain generation tool. I don't use terrain shaders. I don't use anything. Like, literally every single rock, like a little pebble on the ground, is placed. Like, I'll drag it in and place it and go, yep, that pebble looks good. It's incredibly time consuming and it's terrible. I wouldn't recommend it. But it means every part of the map and every part of the angle is exactly the way I want it to be. And that's how I like to craft levels. I really prefer making handcrafted levels from scratch. I just think there's a certain art to it, and you just don't get that with procedural generation, unfortunately. So yeah, every single piece of Lens Island, every time you see any bit of level design or set dressing, that was me placing that item. So think about that. Okay. No control. We will have partial controller support. So right now, if you're playing the demo, you could actually plug in your controller and move around with it, and it works. But we haven't hooked up any of the UI or anything to start working with controller yet. It's something that from the back end, from a developer side, we've enabled controllers to work, and we've thought about it, and we've sort of made it all ready to go when we need it to. It's not fully hooked up yet, though. It would be this game would be really well played on a controller. It would, yeah. Okay, future DLC. Well, yeah, the future DLC would just be updating the game, and just keep it putting out updates. Do you have some tips for new people coming in this world of learning and creating games? For any sort of like game developers out there that want some tips or starting out, I would say always work on projects. So like when you're working on a game or trying to learn something new, whether it's programming or art, learn it within a project. So if you want to learn programming, tell yourself, okay, I'm going to remake Pong, and then remake Pong. And then you'll have a lot of fun doing that, and then you'll learn programming, but then you'll also have like a finished game that you can play and be really proud of at the end of it. And then when you want to learn even more programming or even more art, set a new goal to create a new game that's a slightly bigger brief. And to basically just keep expanding and expanding your projects until you start to spend a month or 6 months on a project making like a little app store game or whatever, until you feel like you're ready to make a real game. I'm not a real game, but a big game. Okay, game looks great. Excited to see the progress. So am I. Will there be armor sets and just weapons? They're not at launch. There won't be armor sets. You will be able customize your clothing of Len and like change the colors of it and stuff like that. We will be adding armor later though. So one day there'll be armor. How big is the island? It's sort of hard to give some sense of scale, but if you play the demo now, the demo island is probably it's probably like 5 to 10% of the size of the real island. So the real island, like the main island that you play on for the full game, is way bigger, like way bigger than the demo island. And the dungeons are like unbelievably bigger. I've spent so much time designing the dungeons. So the dungeons in the demo will probably be like 5% of the real dungeons or less. Probably a lot less, to be honest. Like they're massive. You can get lost in those dungeons for hours. Do I have any? I have no other projects besides Lens Island. To give you some perspective, like I work on Lens Island pretty much a bare minimum of 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. Like it's pretty rough. Like all we do is just work on this game. I have no life. I love going outdoors and hiking and camping, and I used to have all sorts of stuff that I do. A lot of that I unfortunately gave up to some extent to work on this game, which is okay. But if you're an indie developer working on this crazy game brief, you unfortunately need to make like really sort of savage changes in your lifestyle in order to make something like this work. Because it's impossible to build a game like Lens Island, especially with two people, working like 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and just doing it sort of casually. You have to give it your all, and like sort of it. Yeah, every waking moment needs to be working on the game. Otherwise, it wouldn't get done for like 5 years, realistically. There is a storyline to the game. I won't give any of it away just yet. Okay, I'll answer a couple more questions, and then I'll start playing, and then answer the questions as well. Uh, do, 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 do. I won't say what inspired your level ideas, but how you got the idea to make the maps. I think I get what you mean, Renato. Nothing in particular inspired my level design or anything. I just draw it from just my own memory and creativity. Like for example, like the shape of the island and all the different areas on Lens Island. Honestly, like not much of it was planned. I just sort of started making stuff. And then I really just had whenever I'm creating areas to do with level design, I'm really just approaching it from like an aesthetics point of view and then a gameplay point of view, being like, where would be, like, I want to make a nice place to build a house. Like where, so, oh, okay, I'll build this little area. Oh, okay, but then I need a little hill here so you could build a house on that hill. And then, oh, okay, that hill would overlook there. So you just start creating one area and then it just sort of flows outwards and expands to other areas. And then before you know it, you've built a whole map. So I don't know, I don't really plan it out too much. There's no snow. I don't play Clash of the Clans. I actually used to. I don't know what town hall I had. Probably really low. I don't remember that game too much. Um, how long the game will be? The demo right now, there's probably, if you just play through it just like at your own pace and just normally, even if you play through it quite quick, there's at very least sort of 3 to 4 hours of gameplay in the demo. Saying that though, like we've had beta testers play the demo for upwards of 30 hours. So if you just want to build like a really big house and farms and just sort of go crazy, like there's sort of no limit to playtime. The actual game that we launch in October, that will have like minimum of like 30 or 40 hours of gameplay. Like it's going to be like minimum. Realistically, my goal would for it to be, I don't know, yeah, I guess 30 or 40 hours to actually finish the game when you're sort of just playing it normally and not trying to go too quick or too slow. You're just playing it normally. But like any game, it's sort of like an open world game, so you can play it for as long as you want. It is built in Unity, yes. Who is Len? Why that name? There's a really funny backstory to the name Len. I'll give you this short story. Probably about 7 years ago, maybe even longer, when the game Rust very first came out. I was playing Rust with my friend, and we were just learning the game for the very first time, and we just had like stones and rocks, and we didn't know what to do. And then this character, another player on the server, walked up to us, and his name was Len, and he gave us all these free resources and like guns, and we just thought Len was the coolest person ever. And after that, Len just sort of became a bit of a meme, and that was just the first name that popped into my head. Yeah, download the demo. If you haven't downloaded the demo already, go in the description and download it. It's free, so get it while it's there. Will all stone nodes respawn? Yep, yeah, everything that's sort of mineable in Lens Island respawns. They all have different spawn rates though. I did get a, will it be re-released on Epic Games Store? I did actually get an email from Epic Games the other day asking to put it on the Epic Games Store. I'm not sure though. Like, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. It's just another storefront to get the game ready for and more stuff to do. So if we have time before release and if there's like a purpose to it, we'll put it out on Epic Games for release. If not, it'll go up on a lot of other storefronts soon after release anyway. We will be putting in NPCs that walk around the town and stuff. I don't know if I'll get them sort of fully navigating ready for October. Maybe a little bit, but they will be walking at some point. But they do animate and like react to you, and like you can have conversations with them and all that. Like right now, that all works. Just not in the demo. Okay, couple more questions and I'll play the game. I'll start making my character as well. Okay. Taking the evening off to play the demo. Awesome, Ponty Pants. That's good to hear. How you learned code? I went to university for game design, and my university lecturer that taught me programming is Martin, and he's the lead programmer on the game. So I'm making a game with one of the people that taught me programming. This is my first commercial project. I've actually never finished a proper game. Like, I've made other games and plenty of other projects before, but they've all just been like personal projects. None of them are released, and none of them I'd call 100% finished. Okay. Oh, and it's available for PC and Mac, the demo. Saying that though, like you're gonna have to run it on really low settings if you're playing on like an old baseline MacBook. That's just because, you know, you'd struggle to play Minecraft on an old baseline MacBook. So just be aware you're going to have to play it on low. But if you have like a brand new Mac or any of the new ones that aren't just the base model, that are like the quicker ones, you'll be fine. You'll be able to play it on medium or low settings or something like that. Anyone with like a semi-decent graphics card, anything that's a couple years, you know, anything that's above like a 1050, a 1020 or something like that, would be able to play the game absolutely no problem on like high or medium. Okay, alright, I'm just gonna start making my character. In case you don't know, Len has no gender. Or should I turn off my Steam? Oh no, you can't see that anyway. Cool. Yeah, Len has no gender, but Len's just like a person, and well, I call him a dude because I always just make Len look like me. So I just picture Len as me. But yeah, we give Len different haircuts, different clothing options, and you can just sort of make Len look however you want Len to look. I'm not really fussed with like gender or anything like that. I just whatever. So this is how I always make my Len. He just looks cool like that. Sometimes I do a ponytail because I don't know, it's just nice playing with not just a standard like boy. It's just sometimes nice playing with a different character because all games just always just have like a typical boy. Okay. I may add support for WASD movement. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see through testing and everything. We'll see how it goes. So I'm playing right now. I'm playing the exact demo that's available to all of you on Steam right now. So you could even open up the demo if you have 2 screens or something. Open up the demo, play along with me. I'll teach you how to play the game. Can you make it so that holding your mouse continues to swing? No. So there's a very specific reason for that, which I'll show you right now. Is if I just hold my mouse and click, obviously it just swings once. The whole idea is that gathering resources in Lens Island is something that is active and not passive. So you don't just sit there and hold down your mouse and then like go make a cup of coffee. When I swing my mouse, you can see a little white circle pops up around the tip of my axe. So if you do your next click, the second that white circle expands, it will proc a crit. So you can see here I'm doing crits. So if I go up to a tree, if I just start spamming the click and I don't really care, I do 6 damage. But then if I make sure the next click is right on the crit, it'll do 50% more damage. So resource gathering in Lens Island is something that is a bit of a sort of a mini game, and it's actually like an active thing that you do. It's not something where you just hold down the mouse. And this applies for every weapon in the game. So pickaxes do it. You proc crits if you get the timing right. Swords do it, so as you're fighting enemies, you can actually make sure you string together all your attacks right, and you'll do more damage. So it's like a really core sort of concept to Lens Island, as well as hitting multiple things at the same time. Yeah, your GTX 1050 and a 8th Gen i7 would be plenty for this. That's, yeah, absolutely okay. My morning's going good, thank you. Yeah, I woke up. What's the time now? It's 9:45. I was working on the game till about 1 AM last night, so it was a bit of a late night. I woke up at 8 AM this morning. I've still got my cup of coffee, and I'm just trying to wake up at the moment. I don't usually I don't live stream at all, so it's a bit weird live streaming first thing in the morning, but it's fun. Oh, that's cold. That's really cold coffee. I shouldn't have drugged that. Okay, I'm gonna start gathering some resources, and then I might. I don't know. I'm so used to speed running this demo, because usually whenever I play this demo, I'm just testing stuff out. So I've got this little speed run routine that I do. And I can basically get to the end of the cave in like a couple of minutes. I won't do the speedrun routine now. It just feels really weird playing the demo normally. Wires should be essential for me. Yeah, I get that, press stone. Like I said, the game is better played with a mouse. That doesn't mean, like, obviously it might be uncomfortable to use a mouse. But there's also, like, some of the biggest games in the world use mouse navigation. Like, League of Legends, for example. But we still might add WASD in the future. It's just that WASD isn't as good to play this game. Like, this game actually plays worse as a WASD game because it's not meant to be played with a WASD. It's meant to be played with a mouse. So choosing to play it with the with your keys on your keyboard is like, maybe it might stop your wrist from hurting. Like, but to be honest, my wrist hurts from playing WASD because I don't play WASD games. So it's sort of subjective. But yeah, you sort of choose to give up like the refinement of being able to control your character fully with a mouse for, protecting your wrist, I guess. But yeah, short answer, we might add it if there's a big enough need for it in the future. But there will be controller support in the future as well. So there'll be a lot of different options to be able to control LAN. Creature in the Dungeon. One of the best indie games I've seen. Thank you. Do you not sleep? I try to sleep as much as I can. Oh, thanks, Bimsy. That's actually my very first donation I've ever got before. So cool. So thank you, Bimsy Dev. You don't have to donate or anything. I'm just playing the game. I honestly didn't even realize that I had that enabled. But that's awesome. Thank you. Oh, hello, Ben. Hello, Ben. Cutie. You're I'm from Australia. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. It's winter here at the moment, so it's a little bit cold. Say hello to Brazil. Hello, Brazil. I'm downloading the demo. Yep, go download the demo, everybody. If there's any Kickstarter backers watching now, the demo that's available on Steam is updated. It's more recent than the demo that you would have played through Kickstarter. So it's going to be worth playing this new one. Can Len swim? Len absolutely can swim. So I will go over here. It's somewhere out. There's a few islands. There's a few places you can go to. There's no sharks or anything yet. That we might add some sharks further into the game, but we won't tell you. We'll just add them secretly, and then one day you'll get eaten by a shark. Okay. I've just been getting some fibers and wood while I've been talking, because I'm going to repair this bridge over here. I love, by the way, one of my favorite things is watching people fail at this parkour. It's so good. It's pretty difficult. Like it takes a while to get used to the movement in Lens Island, but once you get good at it, you get quite good at it, and then you sort of can do anything. It's just so hilarious watching people. But I'll give you some tips. If you're playing the demo and you want to learn how to sort of get good at the parkour, I'll give you some really quick tips. If you just jump, you can move after you jump, like in the air if I click my mouse button, but you don't move that far. But if you just run for a second, then jump, you'll cover a lot more distance. So if I just run and then jump like that, you'll be able to cover a lot more distance. So if I'm jumping this gap here, I'll just run and then, well, I just sort of glitched it there, but I'll run first and then jump. and then I'll be able to make the jump every time. Rather than just going like that and then holding my mouse, it's a bit more risky. You can also roll into a jump as well. So I can jump and then do a roll to cover like a really big distance. So here, jump, roll, and then I did like a really big jump. So once you get those things down pat and you learn that, you can do anything in Lens Island. You can go anywhere. Okay, I'm going to repair the bridge, make my way to the Pirate Island. Sometimes you can get really lucky with the loot spawns on the Pirate Island from these barrels, and you can get enough coal to make like a refinery or to make like a torch straight away. Sometimes you can even get enough gold coins to actually buy a sword straight away, which is always pretty useful. So we'll see where this puts us. I think I can already make a torch. I think it's 5 coal to make a torch. So I can already make that, which is fantastic. Alright, what's chat saying? Queenslander, yeah. Do you get damage when you don't get damage from trees when they fall on you? I feel like Valheim has really popularized trees hurting the player as like a feature. For me, it's just like annoying, so I don't want the trees to hurt me. But I don't know, if people really wanted to get hurt by trees, maybe I'd add it in. It would be really easy to add it in. I'm just so surprised that when people play the game, they're almost disappointed that they don't get hurt by a tree when it falls on them. It's just hilarious. Okay. It's really impressive movement. Yeah, so all of these animations in Lens Island are like mocapped animations, and then I've had to go in and like manually sort of edit them and everything. So there's like some libraries of animations that we've sort of purchased and been using, and then also been like sort of making my own. So for example, like the pickaxe animation is like a mocapped animation of someone like going like this with like a one-handed weapon, and then I had to like edit the whole animation to bring his arm up and then make his elbows bend, and it's like really tedious and gross. But yeah, like I sort of basically edit all these animations frame by frame to try and make them look as fluent and realistic as possible, because I'm not a big fan of the whole like anime style animations in games that are really like snappy and really exaggerated. I do like understand why games have them. I think they look cool, but I personally don't like them in my game. I prefer a bit more fluent, realistic animations. Pineapple absolutely belongs on pizza. I love Hawaiian pizzas, hands down the best pizza, in my opinion. Are there mounts? No, there's no mounts. I don't know if we will add mounts. It's not really that type of game, but maybe. Former Queensland, Melbourne now. Okay, you must be really cold. Yeah, Melbourne's an awesome place. I love Melbourne. These are little bouncy pads, by the way. So if you come here, you can bounce on these and have a good time. Okay, I'm gonna teach you all how to do the hardest parkour in the game. Because if you've downloaded the demo, and if you might be playing the demo tonight or sometime today, you're gonna need to know how to do this part here, because everybody sucks at this. So I'll teach you how to do it. So we have a chest up here. I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it. We've got a chest up there. We've got some places to jump to along here. And then if I get on here, oh, I missed it. We've got a barrel up there, and then we've also got some other items up there that you can sort of see if I jump. So so like I said before, if you run and then jump, you can make a larger distance. And then if you jump and then roll, you can make a really large distance. So using that knowledge, here, boom, jump, roll straight across there. I actually made it so you can just get in a jump on this platform without needing to roll. So you can do either, just the roll's a bit easier. Free glass bottle, we'll pick that up. And then I'll get this crate while trying to hit my crits. Oh, I already missed one. Perfect, some gold coins. This part's really hard. Even for me, it's a bit hard. So, okay. So you just want to do a normal jump to this place. You want to do like a running jump. So you want to like start running and then do your little jump. And then this one as well. Don't do your running jump. Just jump and then move forwards. And then you land perfectly on that little pylon. And then we want to do a running jump and then a roll. And then we make it across. There we go. You don't have to do it exactly the way I just did it, but that's probably the easiest way. Okay, so I'm going to get all this loot. I'm really just getting all these barrels to get a bit of a head start on the game, so I can build some stuff for you all. I'll make my way down into the dungeon soon. We'll fight some enemies. we'll build a house, we'll do a whole lot of stuff. And it's becoming nighttime, but I'll be able to build a torch, so it's all good. Awesome, how are you all going? Keep the questions coming. I'll just keep answering questions about the game as I'm playing, so I'll try to do both at the same time. Yes, you can customize Len. You customize Len at the start of the game when you first launch it up. There's no ward. We are adding a wardrobe in into the full game though, so you'll be able to customize. Sorry, you'll be able to customize Len like throughout the game and change the color of his clothes or her clothes. The demo will be available on Steam until the 22nd of this month. So when is that? Like the end of the weekend, basically. Yeah, the gathering mini game does feel pretty cool. You can't. Well, so in the demo you can sort of craft. Like for example, this torch. It requires a specific stuff to make it, and then if you have those specific items, you can hit craft, and I can make this torch. Thank you. But in the full game, the crafting will work a lot different. You'll have an actual crafting bench at your house where you'll be able to craft items, and then you'll be able to buy like item scrolls or actual ready-to-use items from villages, and it will be a lot more in depth, and it won't just be like a series of items laid out in front of you. I want to buy a sword. So how much money? Oh, I can buy a sword. Awesome. Perfect. So that's pretty much a perfect way to start Len's Island. Is just like go clear out those two encampments. And then you get enough for a sword and a torch. Usually, you get enough for a sword and a torch. So I'm going to go down to the dungeons, get some coal, get some iron, kill a couple of enemies, and that will sort of get me set up to start building a house, make a refinery. If you have trouble ever getting reeds, you cut them down way quicker with a proper weapon, by the way. So if you've been spending your whole time gathering bushes with an axe, like this, you can see it takes a while. But if you use a sword, it's a lot quicker. It'll sort of get it in 2 hits, and some weapons do even just do it in 1 hit. Okay, all the music was made by Lars. So like yes, we made the music. It's all made in house, but we have an amazing music composer and audio designer, Lars, and I've showed him in some previous videos and shown his work, but yeah, he's made all the sound effects and all the music, and they're all completely original tracks made from scratch, and they are beautiful. We're really lucky to have Lars. There is fall damage, but it's set to like a really high threshold at the moment. It doesn't really matter for the demo, but in the final game there will be fall damage, because some of the caves aren't spread out horizontally. Some of them are a bit more sort of vertical, where you're jumping up and down. So there needs to be some sort of way to stop people just from jumping down large portions of the caves. Okay, we've got some coal here. So in the demo, you can also you can hover over resources. I should have my torch out. You can hover over stuff and it'll sort of bring up this little hover effect. That's one of the easiest ways to tell what a resource is in the caves. If you've got a torch, you can just walk up to it and I can see this is coal because it's got little bits of coal in it. And then this doesn't have anything in it, so it's just a normal stone. But if you don't have a torch out, you can hover over it and then you can actually see the little bits of coal. So it's a little bit easier to do it that way. Wear his shoes. So Len doesn't have any shoes and he won't ever have any shoes. It's a bit of an ongoing joke, but Len as a character in the game we like to think of as sort of like living at one with the world. So he likes the feeling of the dirt in between his toes. He likes to feel connected to the earth. And he doesn't like to sort of like hurt the planet, which is also why there's no hunting in Len's Island. Which is, we will probably add fishing later into the game, but there definitely won't be like shooting deers or anything like that, ever, because it just feels a bit wrong to be sort of coming onto this island and then just killing everything on it and just decimating the whole island. I sort of feel like Len's Island at the moment works as like, you know, Len comes onto the island and it's effectively just like gathers all these resources and just recycles them. And they all stay on the island. You're just sort of rearranging the trees into a house. So it's a bit more nice. So yeah, Len's a bit of like a green thumb, bit of like a hippie, I guess. Yeah. Alright, we have our first enemy. Hit him. So, like I mentioned with the crits, if you do your slashes perfectly timed, you can do a critical hit and get more damage. So if I do 2 slashes there, oh, I missed the second one. And you also have abilities. So I've got a W ability on the sword, bam, which is that big sort of jumping attack. One more should finish this guy off. Perfect. And I'll get this barrel. I'll get this barrel too. The barrels destroy way quicker with weapons, by the way, than they do with pickaxes and axes. Right. Okay. So this is just a secret little tip for everyone watching right now. If you're wondering how to get to this chest, I'll show you. I'll show you how to get to this chest, because nobody... I don't think I've seen a single YouTuber actually get to this chest yet. Oh, no, I've seen one. This a Spanish guy. I was watching his Let's Play. It was really entertaining. So what you need to do, jump on here, and what we're going to do is do a dive roll across the screen here. So do a jump, and then you've got to do the roll for Q, and then you can jump on these little blocks, and then jump up. Everybody tries to jump up like through here. They don't know how to get up. So you just have to do a rolling jump, otherwise you can't get across. That's the trick. And then we can get to this secret little chest of lightstone. The lightstone sells for a lot of money too. So this is probably the easiest way to get set up in the demo, is you can get those 2 lightstones there, and then you can sell that for like a good amount of gold to be able to sort of kickstart your life in Lens Island. Alright, we've got some more enemies here. So the way the enemies work in Lens Island is you can see they sort of get staggered back when you hit them. So if I hit this enemy now, he sort of gets thrown out of his attack. You can only stagger them a couple of times before they will just hit you back anyway. So the whole sort of, I guess, flow of sort of fighting these types of enemies in the demo is you sort of go in, you get off like 2 or 3 hits, and then you sort of roll away and wait for them to sort of reset, and then you go back in and get off a couple more hits. So just exploring these houses, getting some loot. Get some barrels. Tell us your secrets. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of secrets. I probably need to be a bit careful that I don't tell you all too many secrets, because you're all just going to finish the demo in like an hour. How about fishing? Can't be. Yeah, so fishing is the one form of like a hunting that we will probably add into the game, just because it doesn't directly impact the island. It's sort of the ocean outside of the island, which I like, and it's just like a bit less gruesome than like the hunting. I don't have anything against hunting or anything like that. It's all just, you know, I want it to work within the setting of the game, and I just don't think like shooting a deer would fit very well in this really nice, wholesome sort of, you know, comforting environment. It would just be a bit weird. So that's why I like to keep all the fighting down in the dungeons, or on the island. There are other islands that you can swim to that have some enemies and some stuff to explore. I won't tell you too much about them because it's sort of secretive. But I'm talking about the full game, by the way, not the demo. I didn't know about the dive roll. Yeah, not many people understand the dive roll. That's because like the demo, we just sort of throw you in the deep end. There's no tutorial or anything. It's sort of like your first day in Minecraft, where you just spawn in and you're just expected to sort of learn everything, which is by design. We wanted to sort of let people learn in their own terms, and unfortunately, it just means some people don't understand the whole dive roll thing. But yeah, the full game will have a lot more of a proper tutorial. If you're fighting enemies, by the way, it's usually a better idea to sort of lead one out at a time and sort of fight them on their own, rather than fighting a whole bunch of them. But jeez, this is a real big boy. And the enemies can destroy barrels, so you can see you just hit that barrel. I'll try get this one. There we go, you just destroyed that one. Can you destroy this one too? Oh no, it's hard to get them to hit it, but they can just sort of do free mining for you, which is great. So this is what I mean about that sort of combos that I was talking about before. Go in for a couple of hits, and then just dip, because they will just hit you after you get in a couple of hits. Oh, okay, I just ran straight into that sort of leaping attack there. Awesome. These are just for aesthetics, these egg sacs, but they will be an actual thing in the game where they'll be spawning enemies. They'll be like enemy spawners, and you'll have to destroy them. So they're just for visuals in the demo though, but they will have an actual purpose in the full game. This is some iron ore, so you can sort of tell. This is coal. You can see little bits of coal, and then the iron ore nodes have little sort of shiny bits of iron sticking out of them, and then the regular stone in the caves just looks like stone. A little trick as well: if you need stone, you're probably better mining stone in the caves than you are above ground on the island, because the stone in the caves actually give you a little bit more than the stone above ground. So there's the iron. You can see the iron there. And the stones in the caves also have higher loot. They have higher sort of like loot drops to give you special items. So whenever you mine like clay or stone or anything, there's always like a small percentage that you might get like a gem or like a raw material from that stone. So for example, when you're mining clay, there's like a 3% chance that you'll get a sapphire in the clay, and then when you're mining the stone, there's like a 5% chance you'll get iron shards or coal. Those chances are higher for the stuff in the caves, so it's usually better to mine in the caves. And yeah, the game will be around $29 USD, if you're wondering. There's no weapon degradation. Your weapons last forever. The whole idea is that there's like massive libraries of weapons and tools in Lens Island. So I've already made around 70 weapons in Lens Island, like 70 actual weapons that exist in the game. But they're not in the demo. There's probably, I don't know how many items are in the demo, maybe a dozen different items. So there's a huge array of different stuff that you can craft and buy. And the whole idea of Lens Island is that you sort of get access to more and more of it over time and get to find weapons that sort of like perfectly fit your style of gameplay. And then if you collect all of the weapons in a set, you can actually craft like the legendary item of that set. Yeah. Okay, here's a little puzzle here. So you can see there's like these little bugs down here. I'll jump down. You can. They're pretty easy to kill. They just die in one hit, but they jump at you. I'll try to get this guy to jump at me. Yeah. They just do a tiny bit of damage, but they're really just there for aesthetics, and to make it so you don't sort of walk all around here. But here's a little puzzle, sort of parkour thing. So these dart traps get triggered by these plates. So you can actually, ow. I thought I'd be able to jump over that. Okay, I'm gonna use my berries, heal up a little bit. Oh, some more iron ore. Awesome. I'll get out of the cave soon because it's probably a bit, it's probably quite dark for all of you watching. Oh, one thing I could do just for the YouTube is like adventure straight down into the deep dark section, and try and take those enemies on. Because there's a really cool item down here that I want to get, and it'll be really handy to get it straight away. I wouldn't suggest this for you guys playing the game for the first time because it'll be really hard to do this. Okay, so I'll quickly answer some of your questions. Is there a way to walk? Oh yeah, so you can walk, so you can actually adjust Len's move speed just by having the mouse closer to him. It's just, you make your mouse really close to him and you do like this little slow sort of jog walk. But you can like do tiny little steps like this if you want to, just by clicking just near Len, and then the further your mouse moves away, then you just get into a full run. There's been a few streamers and YouTubers playing the demo. I've launched this demo early. I've launched it all specially for this live stream on YouTube right now, so other people don't know about this launching yet. I just thought it'd be nice just to do it for you guys watching. You get like a special early access to the live stream or to the demo. Okay, so we're in the Corrupt Caverns. It gets super dark down here, as you can notice. This is probably the hardest part in the whole game, in the demo. There will be, I guess, some spoilers, but also give you a bit of a taste of what to expect when you come down here. If I was any of you guys, I would probably bring a better weapon and not just bring a basic sword like I am. Because yeah, I'm gonna have to really put on my try-hard pants here. I could really easily get killed. Okay, perfect. I didn't get hit by any of them. So all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just get to the end of this zone, because so it's hard to concentrate while fighting these guys. There we go. I'm trying to get to the end of the zone because there's a really good pickaxe at the end of this zone. So it's a really good motivation to get through the end of these dungeons. So the whole bunch of enemies up here. So I'm gonna sort of draw them out one by one, and sort of take them on. Eat some more berries. Okay, that's as much health as I can get. Okay, draw them out. Come on, come on. Oh, jeez, I just got hit. That wasn't too good. Man, it's so dark. Okay, I'm going pretty well. I think there's just a few more. Where are they? Coming. Oh, jeez, there's a fair few more. Hit him with the W. Roll away, roll away. Bam. Okay, we did it. What I just did wasn't easy, by the way. I wouldn't suggest doing that. So here's a dark pick. Here's like the pretty much the best pick in the demo. So I'll equip that. The best part about this pickaxe is it glows. So when you're down in these dungeon areas and you're going, oh, when I'm using my pickaxe I can't see anything. Well, you can use this pick and then you can see stuff. And it has some cool abilities too. So you can do some cool moves to do some extra damage. So you could actually hit enemies with this pick and it'll do some decent damage. It's really for mining though. So you can just use the abilities to do some big hits on the stones. Yeah, if I die, the only thing you lose when you die is all of the resources since your last save. You keep your items, you keep your house, everything that you sort of built. So, oh jeez, there's an enemy here. You want some? Aha, he's stuck. Oh no, he's not. He's free now. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna get out of these caves because I want to start building. I'll quickly get some iron though while I'm here. But yeah, so when you die, you just lose all your resources since your last save. So if any of you guys are playing the demo now, I'd definitely suggest your first thing that you should do is build a bed. Don't do what I've done. I haven't built anything yet, so it's not very smart to do. So definitely build a bed, save the game straight away. Otherwise you might be a bit sad when you sort of get reset back. Okay. I'm not gonna do the other part of the cave. We'll do that later because I definitely don't have the health to do it. I think I'm just gonna get destroyed. So we'll come back this way and then we'll start building a house, start getting some farms going, build a life for ourselves on the island, which is what Lens Island's all about. Okay, and yeah, keep the questions coming, everybody. I'm happy to answer all of your questions as I'm playing. And yeah, if you've recently come in, you can play the demo. I've put up the demo early for all of you, so you can hop on Steam right now in the link in the description and play the demo for free. It will be available until the 22nd, so you pretty much have a week to play the demo for free. And there's lots to do. You probably have around 3 to 4 hours of, like 3 to 4 hours minimum of gameplay. And then you can play it for a lot longer if you want to build like really big houses and farms and all that. Okay. Good on you, Thomas, downloading the game. That's good to hear. Need a secret companion like a fairy. Yeah, so there will be pets at some point. We're not sure if we'll have pets ready for the launch in October, but they will happen quite soon after. And one of our specific ideas for pets was fireflies. So all the pets are going to be like airborne, so a parrot, fireflies, you can actually, there'll be a way to attach a beehive to your backpack and bees can like attack the enemies. So all the pets are going to be pretty interesting and they're all airborne, which is something a little bit different. Oh cool, so it's morning now, so we actually skipped the night on the island, which is really nice. What is your favorite part of the game? I think my favorite part of Lens Island so far is just building a house and gathering resources on this island, like listening to the music, watching the sun come up. It's just like it just feels like a meditating. It's a really nice, pleasant experience you can sort of get lost in and just, you know, spend all day doing. So I just really enjoy like the pleasant aspect of the game. I like the combat a lot, and when we release the full game, the combat's probably going to be one of my favorite areas. Until then, though, I just really like building a nice house. Okay, where can I build a house? What do you all think? Should I build on the water? Should I build in the middle of a forest? Should I build on the beach? I do not know. I do not know. I've built a house pretty much everywhere you can imagine, being the developer. So I'll leave it up to you. I'll just quickly get some more wood and some stuff while I'm here. Can I buy... Oh, I might be able to craft an axe, because that will help getting some wood. Yes, I can. So this is the chopper axe. So it actually speeds up as you chop stuff. So it's the only upgrade. Yeah, it's the only axe upgrade that you get in the demo. But you can see it chops way quicker, and then it just keeps on getting quicker. So it just makes trees a lot easier to hit down. It's really hard to hit the crits on it though. So it's definitely better than the base axe that you get, though it's also harder to use. So you will sort of have to get used to it and have to learn how to line up the crits. Though if you hit every single crit, you can mine trees really, really quickly. Like this one here, you'll notice I'll be able to, like the final hit where I swing it over my head. Oh, I missed the crit. If you get all crits up until that big swing, you'll be able to destroy the trees in that final swing. Okay, so we've got a bunch more questions to answer. Are there bosses? There will be tons of bosses. Well, not there will be bosses in the main game. We're not sure exactly how much, but there's several bosses in the all bees. If you see bees, just run away, and then you won't get hit. So here's a definitely a little developer insight. I didn't think I'd end up telling anyone this, so count all yourselves very lucky to know this knowledge, because no one actually knows this so far. So the only trees that actually give you bees are these ones. So the ones that are like a bit sort of thicker and bushier. So like this one here. The little ones. So this one. So these two, that will give you bees. And then the really, really big tall ones. This will give you bees. If you don't ever want to get a beehive, just avoid those trees. So for example, this tree here where it's got a really long trunk and it's a bit more skinny, that won't give you any bees. And then the trees that are like little and bent, like this one here, this won't give you bees. So if you just really want to stay away from the bees, just mine the tall skinny trees and the small bent trees, and then all the other ones just sort of get used to rolling away. So honestly that's what I do. If I'm mining this big tree here, I think it's a 10% chance to get bees. So I'll just usually do that when I finish my chopping a tree, and it just means I'll never get hit by bees. So that's a little tip for how to abuse the bee system. But in the full game, the beehives will be actually like visual. So there will be like a visual little beehive on the tree here, and you'll be able to shoot it down with an arrow before you actually destroy the tree. So there'll be ways to sort of properly stop the bees from attacking you. The game releases in early access this October. So late October, probably October 30. And it will be like a full game. But we're going to keep updating it for many years to come. So there's lots of exciting stuff to look forward to. Build in the water between the islands. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually built a house in the water between the islands. That's a good idea, SkyJ. The island demo is 10% of the size. Yeah, I would say around 10%. Probably less. Probably like 5 to 10%. The main island is way bigger. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot more varied. There's little rivers that run through the main island. There's a birchwood forest. There's different sub-islands. There's all sorts of stuff. Okay, so I think my idea for a house is to build a little dock coming off the sand here, and then I build sort of like a floating house on stilts out here. If you don't know this, with the building in Lens Island, there's actually a little sort of tab menu here, and then you can change sort of the default item that you build with. So you can build a house in stone, ornate, which is all sort of brickwork, and then you can build it out of wood. So I'll start building stuff out of wood, because you can always upgrade it later as well. What angle do I want to build it? I guess maybe like here. Another thing we'll be including at full release as well, which has sort of been requested, is being able to rotate your house. So like you may notice here, when you're building, it's sort of at a 45-degree angle. You'll be able to rotate to make the house like in line with the camera. So you'll have a bit more options and a bit more flexibility to be able to build some different looking stuff. Okay, I'm just going to start building some foundations. And you can hold Alt to multi-place, by the way. So I'm just holding the Alt key on my keyboard. And then I can just sort of keep building more and more foundations, and without having to click every time. Get that. Okay, so I need some more wood. I probably need some limestone as well. So thank you all for tuning in, by the way. I'll be streaming for a while. I don't know how long I'll stream for, a few hours or something. This is the first stream I've ever done on this YouTube channel, or ever. And I will be streaming again Friday. So pretty much exactly 2 days from now. So 48 hours from now, I'll be streaming on Steam, on the main Steam page of the game, as part of the Steam Next Fest. And we'll be sort of like on the front page of Steam, and there'll be all like new people watching through that have sort of, I guess, playing the game through Steam for the first time. So you'll be able to all chime in on the Steam live stream and ask me more questions and see me play. It'll be really similar to what I'm doing right now. There'll just be different people watching because it'll be on Steam. All right. I'll answer some more questions quickly while I chop some wood. How does it feel to be creating a great indie game? To me, the indies are better than the AAAs, so I must congratulate that. From Brazil. Thank you, Dario. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yeah, look, it feels great to to make Lens Island. Indie games, it's a bit of a weird thing. Like I'm trying to find a way to sort of describe it, but I won't really agree that, you know, all indies sort of feel the same way, because indie developers are all making completely different scopes for games. There are very, very few indie developers that are such a small team making such a big game like we are. I can definitely think of a few teams in history and a couple teams currently that are doing a similar sort of thing to what we're doing. But it's really hard, to be honest. So sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to enjoy the game that you've created because you're just working so hard trying to can I roll up here? Damn. Sometimes, yeah, it's difficult to actually like enjoy what you're working on because you're just working so hard all the time to actually get it done. But I'm really, really proud of Lens Island. It is my baby. It's what I've spent, 4 or 5 years on now, sort of working on Lens Island. And I've spent the last sort of 3 years working on it full time. And I'm really, really proud of this game. I absolutely love the game, and I'm really, really excited to be able to share it with all of you. But it's hard work. I must say, it is really hard work. It's not something that's very easy. I wouldn't necessarily recommend making a game of this scale to other indies. But for me, like, it's just, I sort of can't have life any other way. I sort of have to go big or go home, and that's just how I work. So I guess I'm cursed with making big projects that are really difficult to do. it's just, yeah. Will there be a camera mode? Yeah, oh, there is already a camera mode. So if you hit escape, there's the screenshot mode, and then you can use your mouse to zoom in and out. You can move around with your keys. You can use your arrow keys to tilt and pan the camera around. You can add in some depth of field. And some cool camera effects. So this is how you can actually take screenshots, and it hooks up with Steam, so it will take like a Steam screenshot. And you can adjust the depth of field, move it forward or back, or make the area sort of bigger for it. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like cool sort of stuff. And we'll be adding more and more and more. And you can also turn on caps lock, and this will hide all the UI. So if you're like a content creator and you want to get some cool like shots of the game, you can like use all the panning controls to just like screen record and then get lots of really cool, you know, angles and stuff. So it looks like you're a drone panning over the island, or getting all these sort of top-down cool shots like that. So yeah, there's a full screenshot mode, and we'll be adding more and more and more to it over time. It started off me developing Lens Island alone. Now there's 2 developers that work on it full time, myself and Martin, who's the lead programmer. And then we also have 2 people, Ivan and Lars, that just help out in some areas, but they're just sort of part-time on another side of the world, just helping out. Lars has done all of the music and all the audio and everything. Can I delete my Minecraft now? Maybe. I still love Minecraft. It's a fantastic game. I wouldn't compare this to Minecraft. But this Lens Island definitely gives you like a really similar feeling to Minecraft does. Like when you first start out and you're building your house and you're learning how everything works and you're going down to the mines and getting your iron, like that whole feeling is really, really similar to Minecraft. And for me, it's a really good thing. Like I love recreating that feeling. It's something really special. I won't talk about the story too much about the game. I will touch on it later. I don't want to give too much away just yet. Is there a unique attacker? Yeah, so pretty much every weapon has unique. So for example, this axe has little swipes, just normal chops. This pickaxe has its normal pickaxe swings, but then it also has this 360 like swing towards the ground, and it has this other sort of 360 swing in front of you. Let's say this sword has a swipe, but then if you click again, it does this backhand swipe. So it's got this sort of 3 swipe combo. So you do those 2 swipes, and then it does like a twirl at the end. It's got a few different slashes that all just work with a click, and then it also has a sort of jumping 360, and that's just 3 weapons. There's a whole bunch of different weapons in the demo. Some of them share abilities, like you may notice ability icons actually represent like what that animation is. So some items share abilities, but there's probably, I don't know how many different abilities are in the demo across all the weapons. A lot. There'll be way more in the full game. Okay, so I'm trying to get through all these comments. They're coming through pretty quick. Yeah, if you haven't seen the trailer for Lens Island, you can watch it. I think it's the latest video on my channel, so you can go watch it. And yeah, the demo is released. The actual game releases in October at the end of the year. Oh, you can put on VSync, by the way, if you're worried about your video card going to 200 frames. So in the settings menu, there is VSync. So, like, for example, I'm streaming now, but, like, you know, if I run it at low, 230, if I run it at medium, it will run at sort of 180. But if you just put on VSync, then it'll lock it. So this is a 120 hertz monitor, so it'll just lock it. It'll lock it to whatever the refresh rate is of your monitor. Yeah. Have you learned programming? I went to university for game design, and then I self-taught. Other than that, I've just sort of been learning as I went. I'm not a great programmer. I'm decent. I'm definitely not good though. Martin is the programmer. I do what I can. But there's a lot of stuff I'm pretty proud of. For example, like the refinery, like I programmed all of this and made all this system work. Like pretty much the way the programming works in Lens Island is I initially built the game. I built the whole prototype for the game completely myself. And then Martin came in, who's a professional programmer, and he rebuilt all of the major systems. He remade the building system, he remade the player system, the combat system, all of those things he actually completely redid from the ground up properly. And then my sort of level of programming currently in the game is I make all of the little standalone systems. So like I make the screenshot mode, I make the whole refinery, I make, you know, like the way that all the interactable items, like the weapon rack and the bed and the fireplace, all that stuff I build. A whole like other things as well. So all the stuff to do with like level design and like stuff animating and working throughout the levels I make. But then all like the bigger systems Martin works on. I really need to make a bed so I can sleep and save my game. I haven't even saved the game yet. I'm gonna start building. I've been talking so much. So let's build a doorway. Something we recently added to the demo actually. If you're a Kickstarter backer watching, you may notice that there's all these little outlines now. So these sort of like grid effect shows you all of the possible places that you can build. It makes it just a little bit easier to be able to build. So I build some windows. I think what I want to do here, build this house, and then I'll sort of have like an extension out the back here, and then I'll have like a little garden like coming out the back here or something like that. Build some windows. Oh, I'm out of glass. Of course I am. Okay, so I need to get some more wood. I need to build this refinery and start getting some resources chugging along in the refinery. And I'll answer some more questions from chat. My hero looks like a hobbit. Yeah. I know your studio will become a success purely because it overbear. I didn't think it was that loud. I can turn down. Oh no, please. I can turn down the intro of the game. I never thought it was loud, but maybe that's just my sound settings on my computer. If you think the intro of the game's too loud, I'll turn it down. Will there be a relationship with villagers? No, not that I can. Like, it won't be like Stardew Valley or anything where you can like marry them and become friends with them and all that. There will be ways to actually sort of improve upon your relationship over time. So villagers will sort of start to use different language, and rather than calling you, you know, oh hello traveler, they'll be like hello friend, and you'll start to learn a little bit more about them as you talk to them more and more. But there's no sort of like you can't marry them or have like proper relationships or anything like that. What games did I take as reference? A bunch of different games. The games I can think of that influenced Lens Island the most would be... Sorry, I'm just worried about getting beed by this tree now. Okay, we're all good. We're safe. Diablo, Stardew, Terraria, Minecraft, Rust, Sims. Yeah, I'd say all of those games have influenced this game a lot. I really like survival games. I really like open world crafting games. I feel like there's probably about 5 to 10 really good survival and crafting games currently. All of them have their downsides though, and the rest of the games on the market are just really bad. I don't mean to be negative, but unfortunately the whole sort of open world survival crafting genre, especially on Steam, is just flooded with a lot of really terrible games. So I really just want to make a game that hopefully stands out and fixes a lot of the problems that those other games have. So yeah, that's the main goal behind Lens Island. And I really just want to make a game that I enjoy playing personally. Yeah. How often do enemies and plants... Enemies will respawn. So the dungeons are like a typical dungeon crawler game. So every time you go down to the caves, all of the enemies will respawn completely. But then all the resources in the caves act like the resources above ground, and they will respawn sort of periodically over time. So everything's on respawn time is based on like day cycles. So the trees will respawn after a couple days. A lot of these plants and bushes will respawn after a day or two. The rocks will respawn after a couple days, and the same for the stuff in the caves. Love how clean the UI is. Thank you. Yeah, look, I've spent a whole bunch of time because I started off as a graphic designer, so like UI is definitely one of my strong points. Although I'm not like a UI designer. I have no experience making UI in games. I just make UI what I think works well and behaves well. So yeah, I'm doing the best I can. But I do personally really like the look of it. But that's because I spend a long time. Like, I spend a really long time concepting it, make sure it flows well and looks well. It's not something that I just sort of like stick together quickly. There's been a lot of planning with all of the UI in this game. Okay, I'm going to build a refinery and start smelting all of my stone. If you're playing the demo, you can use the scroll wheel on your mouse to scroll up these plus signs, or you can just hold down the plus sign rather than having to click like every single time. It'll save you a lot of time. Sweet. Okay, let's get that refinery going. Okay, so I'll let that cook away, and I'll go get some more, a little bit more resources, some clay and wood. I'm slowly constructing a house. I'm definitely taking my time here because I'm chatting to all of you and all that. But I will slowly construct a house because we still need to go back down to the dungeons and finish the dungeons as well. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. I haven't even built a farm yet. There's a lot of stuff that we can build. Actually, it'd be cool to build farms either side of the front door here. That would be pretty cool. Maybe we'll do that instead. No, I can't build one there because it's too close. It's too close to the terrain. I should really make that a little bit smaller. I don't know if it's weird having... Oh, I like the farms having out. The farms are at the front. They're cool. Okay, I'll plant all my marigolds. Whoops. Plant that. One more, and then I'll plant my lavender on this side. Obviously you can't eat marigolds or lavender. They're just for selling back to the trade merchant for some more money. I will probably buy some blueberries though, and plant some more blueberries. And I'll need to buy a watering can as well, so I can actually water my crops. We're using Unity game engine, so this is all made using Unity, and funnily enough, it's all made using a really, really old version of Unity. So I started making this game a long time ago. So we are using Unity 2018, and we've never upgraded because we sort of can't. Once you're knee deep in making a game, it's really, really hard to port over the entire game engine using a newer version. So this is all built with the old built-in render pipeline of Unity. We've had to hack in so much stuff to make this game visually look the way that we wanted to, and it's been quite difficult. Like, we don't have shader graph, we don't have anything. We have none of the new Unity features, so it makes developing it a little bit hard. So one of the first things that we'll need to do soon after release is start to port the game over to a new version of Unity. But we're doing what we can at the moment. We're doing what we can. The game's only for PC and Mac at launch, but who knows where it will go in the future. Maybe we'll launch for more platforms. It would definitely be a great console game and a great Switch game. So I would love to release on console and Switch at some point. It will be a while though until we do that. But you can play it on a Mac and PC right now. You can play the demo for free. The link's in the description. Are there any assets in the asset store? The assets that we use from the asset store are more like system-based assets. They're not like, you know, I didn't buy this tree or I didn't buy this rock or anything. All the stuff that you see visually in the game, I made myself. And then the assets we use are more like editor extensions. Like we use stuff for programming, we use stuff for behavior trees, we use stuff for like tracking time throughout the game and some other stuff like that. But as we've developed the game, we've used less and less asset store stuff, and we've just made more and more stuff ourselves. But like the bulk of all of this game is just made by ourselves, because it's also hard to trust asset store stuff as well. When you're sort of building a big game, you're sort of just trusting that that asset will be continued to be updated and it'll be completely bug free, and then if there are bugs, they're really hard to fix because you didn't make the asset. So a lot of the time it's a lot more predictable and efficient to just end up making the system yourself rather than buying a pre-made system. Okay, we're back to the water ocean shack, whatever we want to call it. So I'm gonna build a little balcony out here, and then whoops, and then I'll build some can I build? Oh, it's a bit too deep there. I'll keep it that. I think that balcony looks good. By the way, if you're building and you want to cancel the building, you can just mouse over this little cancel button and it'll stop building. I always forget to do that though, because sometimes it's just easy just to drag it off the side of the screen and do that. Okay, so I want to build some railings and then I want to build a balcony. I can't build one yet because I don't have wood, but I want to build a balcony right there. That would look awesome. Okay, what do we have from our refinery? So we might be able to buy a better weapon. So I'm going to go back to the dock. We'll see if we can have a look at what weapons and tools we're going to purchase, and then I'll keep building my house and work on my farms and all sorts of stuff. Good night, Hype. Pleasure to have you here. Alright, I'll catch up on some more comments quickly. As a web developer, I admire anyone with graphical talent. yeah, it's sort of, I'm the opposite to you, Steve. You know, I'm an artist at heart, so learning programming and learning sort of systems and design language has been really interesting for me because I'm more of a creative visual thinker. But yeah, so now I'm having to wear many hats currently developing the game ourselves. So it's been a really interesting thing for me too, but I have a lot of respect for programmers and people that work, because I've been a web developer previously, but more like visual based stuff. I know a bit of Java and a bit of HTML and stuff, but just the surface, not too much. But I've made, like, I used to be a graphic designer and I used to make websites and all sorts of stuff like that. How'd you learn design? I'm all self-taught when it comes to Photoshop and graphic design. Like I used to teach graphic design on this very YouTube channel. If you scroll through and go back to my really old videos, you can see like Photoshop for noobs and all of that. So I just learnt myself through the internet. And yeah, the demo is available if you're new to the stream. You can click on the link in the description. You can play exactly what I'm playing right now for free on Steam for PC and Mac. How long? It'll probably take... It's going to take a while to port the game over to a new version of Unity. Honestly, probably like a few months. Probably like 2 to 3 months, realistically. Because there's a few things that will need to be upgraded during that time as well. So there's specific parts of the game that we want to upgrade, but we're sort of unable to. And then we'd have to upgrade them as we move the game across. So I really want to buy a better weapon. Okay, I'm just going to sell all of my lightstone and then buy this katana, because this katana is awesome. The Shishin. Okay, we'll buy that. I'll put it there. And then I'm going to buy some blueberries, because I want to plant them in my crops. Perfect. Can I might even just buy some wood. I'll be a bit of a cheapskate here and just buy a bunch of wood. Perfect. And I might buy some stone. Just a little bit. Oh no, I'll just mine the stone. It's so much cheaper. Okay, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like, this is my very first live stream, so it's really cool to have you all here watching me play the game. Very exciting to be able to launch the demo and show it to all of you. And yeah, it's cool to be here. I think I might do some more live streams. over time. But I will be doing another live stream this Friday. So in 2 days from now, around the same time I started this live stream, I'll be doing a live stream on Steam as part of the Steam Next Fest, and I'll be sort of on the main page of Steam, actually live streaming the game, which will be really fun. If you were to restart today, knowing what you now know, what game engine would you use? I'd still use Unity. I'll just use the newer version of Unity. I know there's been a lot of really awesome stuff coming out of Unreal lately. I don't know how to use Unreal, so I wouldn't use Unreal for that reason alone. It definitely looks really appealing, and it looks like they've got some amazing features. There's definitely a lot of stuff Unity has that is still a lot more attractive than Unreal. Unreal just has so much money behind their business that they can afford to make like amazing features, like the whole Lumen system with their global illumination, and then the whole new sort of LOD system with their topology that they've got going on, so you can have a trillion polygons in a scene, is really, really cool stuff, and it's miles beyond every other game studio or like game engine. So that's sort of like what makes it really attractive. But then in other aspects, Unreal is still a fair bit behind as far as their community and as far as accessibility and a lot of their UI and interface stuff as well. I'm not a big fan of. So maybe one day, but like I really like Unity. I like it a lot, and I'm definitely going to keep using Unity for the foreseeable future. Okay, building some ceilings. We're finally building a little bit of a house now. I'll build a railing so I don't fall off. Oh, I can build my balcony. Oh, isn't that beautiful? And then think of what I'll do, right, is build a little garden bed on each side. And then I can plant my blueberries in the garden beds. Well, this is actually looking to be a pretty nice house. I like where I'm going with this. It's insane, some of the houses that I've seen our beta testers build. Sometimes I spend a few hours playing Lens Island, like building a house and enjoying myself. And I think what I build is impressive. And then I look over to our Discord and see what some of the beta testers are posting, and it's unbelievable. There's a few people that have spent, like 30 hours playing the game, which is really, really cool to see, especially just for a demo. They are testing as well, so they've got other sort of motives in playing the game for that long. But it's really, really cool nonetheless. I mean, I might have to get a drink of water soon. I'm not used to talking for this long. I'm getting a bit of a croaky voice. There won't be any mounts in the game. I don't know if we'll add any in the future. It's not that sort of game. We'll see. Really good to see a game getting better day by day. Yeah, look, we work on this game every day, all day, so it's always getting better. There's a lot of stuff that everyone hasn't seen yet. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I leave out of the dev diaries. There's a whole bunch of stuff left out that's not in the demo. So there's heaps to see. There's a whole lot of progress happening every single day with this game. It's sometimes hard to see that because we don't show you. Though, like, if you're ever not confident, you can always be confident that we're constantly adding stuff to the game. You never have to worry about development being stagnant or anything like that. Funniest, most annoying bug so far? Oh, that's a good question. Funniest, I'd probably say, someone mentioned it earlier, is when we're testing out shields in the game. There's no shields in the demo, but we do have them in the game that we're building. When we're testing out shields, we put them in the demo just for a little bit, just to test out stuff for the beta testers, and then we forgot to turn off the movement controls. So then you could hold up a shield and then just like glide, like Silver Surfer, surf around the map, which is really funny. I've also had some really funny animation bugs as well. I think I posted one on Twitter a while ago, so there's some really interesting stuff. Okay, how are we going to... I feel like the house is definitely looking a bit bland with all this wood, so I think what'll be cool is if I make all the foundations stone, and then because what I really like doing with my houses in Lens Island is adding like the archways over the top. So I don't know if I should build a wood house with stone archways or a stone house of wooden archways. So that's what stone and wood looks like, and then I can make this window stone, and then it has like a wooden archway. So what one do you prefer? Stone with wood archway, or wood with stone archway? I'll go get some more wood while I'm talking about it, and stone, and let me know what you think, and then we'll start to decorate the house and make it a bit more substantial. When the demo gets taken down, do you keep the demo? No. So you'll only be able to play the demo during this week. So like you won't be able to launch the demo through Steam or anything anymore. And like the files on your computer only work if they're verified through Steam. So you got to get in quick. If you want to play the demo, now's your chance. Sounds like me starting Minecraft. Where is my mud cube? Looking at yeah. Thanks for watching, Max. Pleasure to... Yeah, it's pretty late in England, right? Same with America too. Do I make this alone? No, I started off making Lens Island alone, but now there's 2 full-time developers and a couple of people helping out here and there with other parts, but it's effectively like Lens Island's made by 2 people. Julian is, yeah, cool. It's single player at launch. We might make it multiplayer in the future. We don't know. I would absolutely love to make this game multiplayer though, but the multiplayer that I envision Lens Island to be isn't probably the multiplayer that you're envisioning. It's not like you and your friend building a house together co-op. It's more like having a really big hub world. I don't know what games you all played that are in chat, but if you ever played those Minecraft sort of servers where there was like all those mini games and there was like this really big hub world where everyone was running around and then you could like fight each other in like little PvP areas and stuff. That's sort of how I imagine the multiplayer for Lens Island. I sort of want to take it into a different direction because I really like keeping your own island in your own world single player. But the reason why multiplayer is so interesting, or one of the reasons it's so interesting, is because it sort of gives a purpose to all the stuff that you're building in single player. So for example, if you could spend all this time single player building up an amazing house and getting all these cool weapons and really kitting out your character to look like a boss, then you could go into a multiplayer world and sort of walk down the street with all your awesome gear and you can sort of show that off to everybody. And then you could like fight other lands and duel them and do little quests with them. That's sort of how I imagine the multiplayer to work in this game. Maybe we'll add co-op with sort of like actually bringing someone onto your island. I'm not sure. I really like Lens Island being played as a single player game, and connecting with friends I imagine happening in a slightly different way, but we'll see where it takes us though. Yeah, what did everyone vote for with the house? Stone with wood arch, stone with wood. Okay, yeah, it's overwhelming stone with wood arch. Okay, awesome. We'll do stone wood arch, which means I'll need a little bit more stone because I'm gonna have to upgrade all of my foundations to stone. I think I've exhausted all the stone on the island, so I'll upgrade as much as I can with what I have, and then I might have to go back down into the oh, my plants are starting to grow. Awesome. I might have to go back down to the dungeon to get some more stuff. Okay, so we'll make you wood, you stone, wood, and I'll start building all the wooden archways everywhere. This is actually a recent addition that I made, building archways on top of walls. And I'm so glad that I did it because it just looks awesome, being able to combine styles together. It looks really cool having the ornate with the stone, with the wooden archways as well. It just gives like this cool sort of like Tuscan, like Moroccan feel. I really like it. Stone, stone. Okay, we've got a fair bit of stone to be able to upgrade all of that. Well, that looks cool. I like keeping the back balcony wood, but we'll make these foundations stone. Okay, so now we've run out of stone officially. Okay, we're getting there. That looks really cool. I love the look of that with the stone. I think I'll probably make maybe the top level wood, because then it'll have like that sort of two-door mansion sort of style. Okay, so I'm going to... Do I have any berries? Oh, no, I don't. I'm going to buy some blueberries and then head down into the dungeons, and we'll get some more stone. I've got my katana now, so I can kill some more enemies too. So we'll try and finish the one of the ways of the dungeon. Okay, let's get some blueberries and then equip them. I won't need my watering can in the dungeon. I'll quickly answer some questions. I really need to get a drink of water. I hate like leaving the stream though. We'll see. This game reminds me of blah blah blah. Reminds me of nothing. Albion Online has a nice mix of your own versus multiplayer. Yeah. Make sure if you're playing the demo right now, make sure you build a bed and save your game because it will reset back to your previous save. You will keep your weapons, you'll keep your house, you'll keep everything, but it will reset all of your resources in your inventory back to your previous save. I can turn off my FPS now too. There's only weapons in the demo. We will be adding armor later on after release, so there won't be any armor at release. See you later, Puto. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it's really funny seeing the people that have come from watching the Photoshop tutorials, KT, and then, you know, sort of being part of the whole game developing journey. It's really cool. My YouTube channel and my career, I guess, has taken a lot of twists and turns. So it's been really cool to have you all along for the ride. There's no animals in the demo, but there is like monsters in the cave that you can fight. We're going to add fishing some point into the future, further down development. Oh, awesome. Iron. I'm going to get you with my fancy new glowing pickaxe. If you're wondering where I got this pickaxe from, you have to go right down to the bottom of the corrupt zone in the caves, where it's really dark. And then if you get right to the end of that zone, you'll be able to find this pickaxe. Though you have to be well prepared to get to that area, because there's a whole bunch of enemies and it's really dark and they all just come at you at once. So I'd suggest bringing something like this katana that I have right now. Oh, I forgot to show the abilities of the katana. So the katana has all of its basic swipes. They're really cool though. So it's got like this overhead swipe, which is really quick as like a first attack. And then it's actually got like a double swipe as the third ability. And then it has an ability where you can do this sort of running 360 swipe. So I can go bam and get this barrel. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so you can't fish in the demo, but it's a addition that we will be working on in the future. So yeah, fishing will be really cool in this game. One thing that we are adding at launch is bread making. So you'll be able to grow wheat, and then you can build a big like windmill. Like you might have seen the windmill in the town in some other dev videos. You'll be able to build a windmill and actually grind down that wheat into flour, and then put the flour in a fireplace and bake bread. And bread will be basically the best food item in the game. There's a whole bunch of other like fruits and stuff that you can have. There's also lattice farms, so you can grow passion fruit vines and grapes. And they're not like the typical farming beds. They sort of grow along a lattice, so they look really cool. So there's a lot more options to make different types of foods and stuff in the game that's releasing in October. So there's a lot to look forward to for that. Yeah, we'll be releasing the game in October as an early access game. And then we'll be planning to sort of release the full version, you know, a year or two after that. The game released in October will be a full, complete game that you'll be able to play for, you know, 30 hours longer. But there's a whole lot more features that we want to add, because we have really, really big visions for Lens Island. But because there's only 2 of us working on it, it takes a long time to develop the game. It's really easy to get greedy when you're fighting the enemies and just keep like slashing them over and over, and you just sort of ignore getting hit by them. Love the loading screen art. Yeah, the loading screen art was made by Daniel Ang. He's an Australian artist. He is a really cool guy, really, really good artist. So if you want to check out the artist that made that, just type in Daniel Ang, A-N-G, into Google. I'm sure his like ArtStation and website will come up. Dual wield weapons. So yeah, it is definitely possible to dual wield weapons. We've already concepted some ideas for some dual wielding, and also other ideas for, like, for example, the way that weapons work is there's different like hands for your weapons. You can have like a left-handed and right-handed weapon, just like how you have like a torch in one hand and a weapon in the other hand. So it's actually possible to have abilities with offhand weapons. So for example, this torch could have an ability where you like throw the torch at someone. Or like a watering can could have an ability where you like bonk an enemy over the head with a watering can. So there's lots of really interesting ways that we can sort of combine weapon stuff together. Even like, so there will be bows, there'll be ranged weapons in the final game. And bows could have like melee attacks. There's all sorts of really interesting stuff that we can do. There can also be weapons that are melee weapons that then have ranged attacks. So for example, like if you had like a big bit of bamboo and like you hit enemies with it, and all of its attacks are sort of like normal melee hits, but then it could potentially have like a W attack where it goes like that and then like shoots a poison dart out of it. All of that's completely possible in the system that we've built so far, and some of that's already sort of been made behind the scenes as well. Oh man, I did really well getting those enemies, and that was surprising. And you don't have to worry about these things being dart traps. They will be spear traps at some point, but not in the demo, so it's all safe. There's there's bosses in the final game, not in the demo though. This is like a whole bunch of enemies. Some are big, some are small, and you just have to take down tons of enemies. It's not procedural. It's a hand-built world. So all of the levels in Lens Island have been hand-built by myself, piece by piece. And yeah, Len is genderless. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, SkyJ. What do you mean, Fabrizio? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. What other games? Oh no, what does this... Oh, sorry. What does this game stand up in comparison with others in its genre? Why should it be interested? Right. Well, like, Lens Island is a bit... It sort of stands apart from a lot of the other survival crafting games. Mainly because it combines two big genres that haven't really been combined effectively ever before. Which is the dungeon crawling side, and then the whole, like, farming, crafting, relaxation, sort of Stardew Valley, Farmville, or not Farmville, Stardew Valley, Minecraft, like that whole sort of side of stuff. So like you can see me now, it's almost like I'm playing Diablo, though it has a lot more extensive things to do than some dungeon. Like we have a huge library of weapons that are all very different, or really interesting abilities. There's big cities to look through and bosses to fight, and the dungeons are really extensive. In the demo they're just small, but in the full game they're really extensive. But then you can, like, you know, build a home and farm and treat the game like Sims or Stardew or something like that. So the big sort of draw to Lens Island, oh man, there are so many enemies up here. I might fight them up here actually. The big draw to Lens Island is the fact that it sort of combines two genres that aren't often combined in such a way that makes it so you can sort of pick and choose what you want to do at any given time and sort of get the most out of each part of genre. Oh man. Oh, there's so many enemies. The katana's pretty good at cutting through them though. As you can see, that katana did an amazing job. Here we go, we're at the end of one of the sides of the dungeons and get all this precious loot. While in the demo, are we allowed to stream? Yeah, absolutely. You can make any content you want in the demo. All the music's made by us, so we won't copyright strike you or anything like that. So make as much content as you want. We encourage it. I've been watching Let's Plays and streams of people playing the demo that we've given some early keys to the past couple weeks. And it's been really interesting. So if you make a Lens Island video, chances are I'll watch it at some point, because I also like to watch all the videos people make on the game for like testing reasons. It's really insightful for me as a developer to be able to watch people play the game like completely unbiased, and me not there sitting there behind them telling them how to play or anything. I just get to hear their raw feedback and then be able to make changes based on that. So it's really useful for me to be able to watch Let's Plays and streamers and play all that, sort of play the game. I really enjoy it. Yeah, we're using Cinemachine for some camera control stuff. I've also built like a lot of custom like camera control systems for the game as well myself, because we do like Cinemachine's a really extensive sort of system in Unity, and then I build like different controllers that sort of use Cinemachine in some different ways. There's no drop bears. There's no drop bears in the future dungeon, so you won't have to worry about them. You get the katana from the dock, so I can show you in a minute because I'm going to go back up to the trade dock now. But it's one of the items that you can buy. It's really expensive. It costs 400 coins. But if you gather some light stones, they sell for a whole bunch of money. I wouldn't say the katana is the best item. The best item is probably the big mace, the big glowing mace, the Angler Dangler. It's got a funny name. That's a really cool weapon. It does some cool stuff. Okay, seeing as it's nighttime, I might go to sleep. My throat is getting really croaky, so I might have to quickly get a drink of water as well. Okay, I'm gonna quickly sleep. I'm gonna really quickly get some water. I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, we're back. I don't know how streamers do this, because it is really hard to talk non-stop and not get a croaky voice. Okay, I'm just gonna have some water. Okay, so we need to water our crops for starters, which means I need a tool chest. Cool, I've got enough money for a tool chest. I guess I'll place it here. So the way that inventory works in Lens Island is it's all sort of persistent. So you may notice all your resources are here. You don't need to manage resources with chests or anything. And then you have like tool chests and weapon racks where you can then go through and see all of your unlocked items and sort of equip them and change out your loadout. You can also display them. So I'm going to display my watering can, maybe my pickaxe, my cool pickaxe. So now I can just click on my watering can here and just equip it directly. Water my crops. Will there be any sort of progression when killing them? So yeah, there's no... Well, they're slowly growing, not quite done. So there isn't any sort of like skill tree or anything in Lens Island. Lens Island's a bit unique where the progression is really in like the weapons that you buy and your skill within the game. So it's sort of like user defined progression. There's no stats or anything. So it's something that is like a very purposeful decision that I sort of personally like in games, is when the character at the start of the game is the exact same character right at the end of the game. And the difference between the start and the end is that you, as a person, are way, way better at the game, and you know how to use the tools more effectively that you get. There's definitely weapons that do more damage and have cooler abilities than other weapons, so you'll be able to unlock and progress better and better and more interesting weapons, though there's no sort of like tier system for the weapons. It's really just like try out all the weapons, find the ones that you're best at and you do the most damage with, and then use them. And then as you get to learn how to use those weapons and do more damage with them, you'll of course become better at the game and be able to kill more enemies and go to the harder bits of the dungeon. So it's sort of like a user-defined progression system, which is very like a purposeful thing. It's something that I really like in games personally. Okay, I'm going to start building the top sort of part for this house here. I'm not sure how to do it. Like if I want it to be more open, like yeah, like more open with sort of with like doorways and then just have a roof and then railings going across. Or to actually, so I think it looks cool open. And then you could have like a little balcony here. And then have some railings. I'll do some railings, but I'll make them the cool. Yeah, oh, that looks awesome. Okay. Okay, we have a good idea. We have a good idea. So I'll... another thing I could do as well, I guess, is do the stone railing. And then it sort of continues, it looks like it continues up from the bottom. I don't know. I don't know, I'll show you. So there's some ornate railings there. And then that's some stone railings there. So the stone sort of continues the base up, or the home up. The ornate just looks really cool. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I don't know not what one's better. There's no co-op for the demo race. It's a single player game, so there won't be any co-op for launch or anything either. It's something that we may add in the future, we're not sure, but it is a single player game. It's been sort of developed as a single player game. Absolutely, Cobstar. It would be great to see content from everyone. I thoroughly enjoy watching the content. Yeah, stay hydrated. My voice is getting so croaky. I don't usually talk for this long, just constantly. When you're in build mode, the doors do not open. Do you mean edit mode? Like this? Because you can't move in edit mode. But like in build mode, you can't move either. So I'm not quite sure what you mean. Because you shouldn't be moving around when you're in build or edit mode. Ornate, stone. Okay, we've got 2 votes for ornate, so looks like the ornate one. The ornate balcony looks really cool too. Okay, ornate railings. So I'll have to upgrade that one to ornate. Oh, there's a little hack, by the way. So you can see I can't place ornate railings here because there's no ceiling to place them on. But what I can do, here's a little cheat for all of you watching, is I'll place a ceiling, then place some ornate railings, whoops, and then delete the ceiling, and then I can just place my staircase back down, and then I've just cheated in some ornate railings. So fun little thing. And then I'll do a little half railing here so I don't fall off the edge. Well, that looks pretty cool. I like the look of that, and now we just need to build a roof. So I might build... Oh, what roof should I build? I could build an ornate roof that looks like that. Or I can build a blue roof. I don't know, I think maybe the ornate roof. I like the ornate roof, it looks cool. It's way more expensive though. It's so much more expensive. Okay. You all have expensive taste. You have really expensive taste. I should probably water these crops. You can water multiple crops, so you can see my watering can actually just hits both of them with the one water, which means I'm able to water them a bit more efficiently. Alright, I'll probably stream for another, I don't know, maybe another 40 minutes or an hour. I'll sort of build some more of the house and I'll answer some more questions and all of that. I'll probably end the stream just sort of sitting back and answering all your questions and having a little chat to all of you, because I really do like talking to all of you. Usually when I make videos and all that, it's just a bit more one-sided, so it's really nice being able to chat to everyone. But the demo is live, so if you it'd be really cool, like you can play the demo right now and then ask me any questions as you're playing the demo. So if you have anything that you find while playing the demo or any inquiries, now's the chance to ask me. So I'm really just trying to get a whole bunch of stone and limestone and clay because I don't need my torch out anymore. Because I want to build all those ornate roofs along my house and then start to sort of decorate it a little bit as well. Yeah, there's definitely a place you can report bugs, Solus Gamer. So just go to our Discord. I think a Discord's linked in this video, like at the bottom of the stream. Or you can just probably search Lens Eye on Discord and it'll come up. And we have a bugs and feedback channel. So you can either type in a bug in there, or we also have a Google Docs link. Sorry. We have a pinned Google Doc in the bugs and feedback channel in our Discord. And you can submit bug reports at that link. And yeah, bug reports are greatly appreciated. So if you're playing the demo, you come across anything, please let us know. It really, really helps us out to sort of obviously fix those bugs as soon as possible. The demo's been really, really solid for me though. Like we've been testing this and fixing stuff just non-stop for the past few weeks, and we've had a lot of beta testers playing it, and it's been really, really smooth and running really well. So I'm pretty happy with how it's all going so far. Another little tip with the building system, by the way, is you can actually, while you're building, you can scroll your mouse and then it will sort of change the level that you're building on. So it'll automatically build on the level that's sort of above you, but then you can change that if you want. Well, that looks cool. And then a corner one here, and then a little, oh, I could build a little tower right on top. Okay, I have to look at this in screenshot mode. There we go. Doesn't that look cool? That's awesome. There we go. Oh, I'm pretty proud of that, everybody. We have built a really nice little house, and that's blending all 3 building styles into one. So we've got the stone down here, we've got the wood beams, and the ornate roofs, and they actually work pretty well together. All we need to do now is actually finish upgrading these foundations to stone, and then I need to decorate the house some more. I can build a pantry. I'll build a pantry in the corner there, so I can get to all my food items. I don't need any food right now. I really need to start decorating the house as well. I don't know what to put upstairs. Like, I don't know how to lay out the house. Because I really probably should have a refinery and some of these other things upstairs. You get refunded with your stuff in your refinery, by the way. So if I delete this refinery with the 6 coal that was left in it, I'll actually get 6 coal back refunded. So you don't have to worry about sort of deleting items and not getting stuff back. You'll always get fully refunded whenever you build stuff or delete it. I'm gonna build a little bookshelf here. There you go. That's nice. Oh, and then a lamp. So I'll build, oh, I don't know where to put this lamp. Maybe near the bed. Build one there. And I'll build one up here as well, I guess. Looks pretty cool. Very nice. Sort of going through the thing there. Looks cool. And then build a little seat looking out to the view over here. And a plant next to it. Little pot plant. Another pot plant. I'll build some more plants around the place. Spruce this area up a little bit, make it look nicer. Build that one there. Okay, I'm running out of resources now. Can I sleep? Yes, I can. Oh, awesome! My crops are built. No, not built. They're ready to harvest. So you can see they're sparkling. They're making a sound. So if you click on it, marigold grown to perfection. Pick the flowers now. So I'll go through and harvest all of these. Tons of, so it's 30 marigold, that's awesome. I think I started with 7 marigold, so it pretty much multiplies it by 3. So whenever you harvest something fully, you get around 3 every time. So what do we have now? 26 lavender, 32 marigold, 16 blueberries. Oh, perfect. So I'll replant the lavender, because that's sort of the process that you go in Lens Island. Is you just like keep replanting things. Can I plant that? Cool. And then you sort of keep multiplying. Oh, whoops. You keep multiplying the farming item every time you replant it. But what I'll also do is just sell back a whole bunch of like my excess lavender. So like I had originally 7 of each planted. So then I just replanted 6 of them. So now I sort of got, 20, 25 bonus that I just got from growing them that I can sell back to the vendor here and make a bit of money. So sell that for 60. Sell that for 75. So you get some pretty decent money. And then I might buy some pumpkins and I'll plant some pumpkins as well. So pumpkins are the best food item in the demo by far. They heal for 50 health, so they're pretty awesome. I'll sell my sapphires. I want to get this mace at one point, so I might have to go back down the caves and get some more lightstone. It'd be cool to get a different weapon. I could use a knight's axe for a little bit. Yeah, man, I might buy the knight's axe. I really do like the knight's axe. It's a double-handed weapon, so you can see it's got like this big sort of overhead hit, and then it has a second weapon in the combo, which is like this. It's like a double swipe attack. So this is what's classified as like a heavy weapon in the game. Bit slower attack speed, but it does some really big hits, and it does some really heavy hitting critical hits as well. And then it's got this 360 jump attack as well. So I really do like this. I actually had to nerf the battle axe a little bit recently because it was just too good. I was just decimating enemies in the dungeons. Oh yeah, if you need to fill up your watering can, just run into the water and it will fill up automatically. So, water my blueberries, which hopefully will be fully grown soon. Alright, sorry, I missed out on a few questions and stuff in the chat. And you may notice when you're running with your watering can, you can sort of hear it jiggling. And if you do a jump, you can hear it's like the water moving inside of it. I'll just quickly get the furnace going because I want to get some more. Oh no, I got tons of glass. Okay, I don't need to use the furnace. Cool, I'll answer some questions. We will be adding translation into the game after release. So the game will release as an English-only game, though really soon after. It's one of our highest priorities to add localization, to add languages like Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, French, stuff like that. You won't ever need to get a wheelbarrow or cart when you're grinding materials, Steve. So the whole idea is, yeah, the item storage will always stay persistent. You won't ever need to worry about moving items around. Oh, my blueberries are grown now. They're sparkling. The only thing that you do need to worry about is your backpack has a max capacity. So right now it's 250 is the maximum amount of each resource, and you can actually upgrade. You can't in the demo, but in the full game, you can upgrade your backpack over time. And the really cool thing, I don't even know if I've talked about this yet at all, but the really cool thing about upgrading your backpack is it obviously upgrades the slots. So it upgrades, the first upgrade makes it to 500 slots, the second upgrade makes it to 1,000, but it can also give you extra hotbar slots. So one of the later backpack upgrades that you get later into the game, which I guess also plays into what you're talking about before, Steve, about how you can sort of like make your character better over time, is you can actually upgrade your hotbar and you get a 6th slot in your hotbar, which means you can hold more items on your character later into the game, which is really, really beneficial because it's obviously a pretty small hotbar, so you sort of have to set up your hotbar for whatever adventure that you're wanting to do. You want to go in a dungeon, you sort of go back to your house, set up your hotbar how you like it, and then go down to mine, or if you want to, you know, do some gardening, you'll need to get your watering can and all that. So that's sort of the only management that you need to do in Lens Island, is just making sure you've got the right stuff on you. I might go down to the dungeons now, actually, and try out this big axe. I've never played Legend of Zelda, ever. I've never played any of the Legend of Zelda games, so I can't say I was inspired by it. Easy way to get glass. So you can get glass bottles from around the beach. Glass bottles wash up on the beach sometimes. And then you can, the best like sort of longer term way of getting glass is from a refinery. So if you build a refinery, which is here, you can put in stone, limestone and clay into a refinery, and then that's how you get like a lot of the more precious materials. So oh, we got lightstone. Well, that's handy. So if you put stone into a refinery, you'll get iron shards refined out of it. If you put limestone, you'll get glass, and if you put clay, you'll get sapphires. So iron shards are used for sort of crafting a lot of the weapons that are at the trading dock. Glass is used for making windows and for base building, and sapphires are just used as like a rare resource to be able to sell at the dock for some good money. So if you ever need some money and you have tons of clay lying around, just put it all into a refinery and you'll be able to get a whole bunch of sapphires to sell. I just played the game for an hour, no bugs or glitch, amazing game. The only thing I did not like is the mouse control system. Yeah, look, it's something you definitely have to get used to, like controlling the player of the mouse. It's something because a lot of the genre around the survival crafting genre and sort of top down is WASD movement, and we're sort of like a blend of genres, and this is a lot more of a MOBA style control scheme. So I better get my axe out. So the control scheme for Lens Island is a lot more suited to, like, similar to a game like League of Legends, where it has the QWER for your abilities and it uses mouse input for movement. Because another thing to remember is if we... Is that crate respawned? No. If we were to add in WASD, then that removes your W key from your abilities, and we'll have to move all the abilities, like the roll and all your weapon abilities, to other keys. So then suddenly you have 2 hands on keys all the time, like pressing a whole bunch of keys. So it makes the control scheme a lot more complicated, adding WASD. Saying it though, it's something we might add, I'm not sure. The game is much better played with a mouse though. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit to get used to sometimes, but it's just way better with a mouse. Combat and parkour and all the different aspects of the game are a lot easier to play. Yeah. So it is upgradable, Steve. Yeah, the backpack. So you expand the slots in your backpack, expand the slots in your hotbar. I think that's really the only form of character progression we have throughout the game, is just expanding your backpack. And it does a... Oh, can we build... I totally forgot that there's a bridge over here that we can repair. Luckily we have enough stuff to repair it. Yeah, so it actually changes the visuals. So when you upgrade your backpack in the game, it actually changes, like, this whole UI looks like a bit cooler, and it sort of upgrades the look of it as you upgrade it, and changes it a little bit, which just looks nice. doing some mining, I'll just be down here for a little bit. I'm just enjoying swinging around this big axe, really. Here's another little parkour challenge for all of you. I'll get my torch out. I'll quickly get this barrel. I might be able to craft that angler dangler. So what I might do is I might quickly go back up to. So here's a free pickaxe. If you want to, it's not better than this purple pickaxe, but I'll unlock it anyway. But if you want a free pick, here's a little. You just got to jump up here. You don't have to roll or anything. You just jump straight up and get that pickaxe. But yeah, there's a light stone over there. I keep pointing at my screen. There's a light stone over here, which is really lucky. So which means we'll have enough to craft that angler dangler. So I'm gonna go back up to the home after mining this, and oh, we need a bunch more iron though to get the angler dangler, because I think it costs like 70 iron shards if I remember. Oh sweet, some iron here, and we'll craft that, and then I'll show you how the best weapon in the demo works, and then after that I'll probably end up ending the stream. But it's been really cool chatting to all of you, being able to play the demo, sort of launch it early for all of you. It's been awesome having you all here, answering your questions and all of that. I'm just gonna get a little bit more iron shards and stuff while I'm down here, because I'm gonna need some. I'll hit multiple stones at the same time, which is one of my favorite features in Lens Island, is being able to optimize resource gathering. It's something that's so often like a really tedious task in games. So I really tried to make resource gathering as fun as possible in this game. Alright, I'm full of stone. We already have 250 stone, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to leave all that stone there. I'll get this coal though. This game looked great. Thank you. Yeah, basically, if you want to play the game, you can play it right now, the demo. So the demo is available on Steam. That's why I'm streaming now. I just launched it early for everybody on the YouTube channel. So you can actually go on Steam at the link in the description and play the demo for free on Steam. And it's available for PC and Mac. Okay, we're gonna go back up to the top, get this angler dangler. I'll show you how that works, and I'll probably end the stream a little bit after that. Because I think our house is pretty awesome. I didn't expect to make a house as good as the one that they've made in such a small amount of time. I've also been like going pretty quickly through the demo. Like all of the playthroughs and all the people that I've seen play the demo, obviously take a little bit longer than what I've taken, because I sort of know the shortcuts and just like the quicker ways of doing everything. Like I just sort of flew through the dungeons first go. I didn't die or anything like that. Usually it will take you a while to get through the dungeons, and you might need to have some decent weapons before you go down there. Yeah, just a cautionary tale. If you're just wanting to just rock up to the dungeons with an axe in hand, you might want to be a little bit more prepared than what I was. Okay, so let's sleep. I'm gonna need a whole bunch of iron shards to make this dangler. So we'll get that going. We might be able to do a couple little additions to the house while we wait. Or I can make a rug, so I'll put a little doormat at the front of the door here. I have a candelabra. Yes, what I might do, I'll delete that and I'll put the candelabra, because that looks nicer for inside. And I can put a little chair where I can read my books. That's really nice. That's great. And then I can put I'll put this rug upstairs actually. Whoops. I keep falling off the stairs. I'll put the rug up here. So, there we go. I love the look of the sunrise in Lens Island. It's really nice seeing all like the light catching on the railings and all that. Game reminds me of RuneScape. Yeah, I never actually got into RuneScape. I was one of the very few people that never really played it. So, yeah, it's always funny when people compare Lens Island to games that I've never played before. Yeah, but I don't know, maybe I've subconsciously seen bits of different games over time and sort of included stuff. Thanks, SkyJ. The movement can't be remapped to WASD. Like, if you're asking if it can be mapped in the demo, like, no. If you're asking, like, if it's possible to be mapped by us in the future, yes, and we might. we're still not sure. It's sort of like a bit of a dividing topic between the community at the moment. So we'll probably do a lot of testing in the coming months, seeing trying to get as an unbiased opinion as possible as to what is better, because the game is meant to be played with a mouse. It's not meant to be played with WASD. Okay, water all my crops. I'll have to fill up my watering can. You'll be able to build wells in the full game as well, by the way, So, instead of having to run out to because the island's a lot bigger in the full game, so it's a bit more inconvenient to like run out to the ocean every time if you build your house in the forest. So you can build a well, and then the well will just constantly be filling up with water, and then you can just fill up your bucket at the well instead of sort of walking out to the ocean. Yeah, I don't know, Josh. All the WASDs have just been coming out of the woodwork lately. There won't be any co-op at launch. It's just a single-player game. But we might be adding it sometime into the future. It's one of those things that it's a really, really big task to be able to make this game a multiplayer game, and we don't want to just sort of half-ass it. We want to make multiplayer like a really significant part of the game. There's a whole multiplayer world where you can interact with other people and have like a big community hub. So we want it to be quite substantial. So it's something that's going to take a bit of time, but it's definitely on the like agenda for the long term. Okay, I think it's 70. I think it's 70 iron shards for the big mace that I want. I'm pretty sure it requires a little bit of wood as well. So I will try to chop down all this together. That worked out better than I thought. Cool. I don't know if it requires anything else other than just wood. I think it's wood, iron shards, maybe fibers, and then a light stone. Okay, hopefully I'll have enough to craft it after these trees. Yeah, oh, I can open up the refinery again, so you can have a look at it, the UI. I'll go get that tree in a second. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this UI. The refinery is one of those UI menus that I spent ages in Photoshop moving things around. I remade this whole layout a whole bunch of different ways. I remember having some conversations with our beta testers where I was showing all different layouts of the refinery UI, being like, hey, do you think it looks better with the fuel over here and the input over here, or do you think it looks better where they're horizontal or vertical? And this is sort of the layout that I settled on, and then we have this cool sort of fire animation behind it. So yeah, all the UI menus in Lens Island, I really put a lot of sort of care and time into trying to make them the best that they could be. From like an accessibility point of view, like trying to make the UX design and the experience like a really easy, intuitive experience, but also making them look really pretty as well. Because like UI menus shouldn't feel like UI menus. They should feel like you're interacting with that object, and it shouldn't just feel like you're having to sort of like navigate through this annoying menu trying to get what you're trying to get done. Oh, sweet. Okay, we can craft the mace. So we have our awesome mace here now, so I can equip this. And you can see it's massive. I've got like this giant spiked club on my back. So it has normal swipe attacks. They don't do a whole lot of... so the thing that destroys these reeds is slashing damage. So these maces have more bludgeoning damage than they do slashing. So there's all different damage types in Lens Island, which is how different items can do different damages against different things. Like for example, the axe doesn't hit the stone very well, but then the pickaxe does. And then the mace sort of like does a bit of damage to the stone, so it's better than the axe, but it's not as good as a pickaxe. So there's varying levels for all different items. So this is more of a bludgeoning weapon. And then it has abilities. So it's got a W, which is big sort of AoE slam at the ground. It's got an E, which is a double. There's a swipe and then a slam. And there's got the R, which is cool, sort of big run up slam attack. What's the main gameplay loop? So the main gameplay loop is sort of everything that you've been seeing, and then it's a lot sort of more exaggerated in the real game, more so than the demo. But it's, you know, go collect resources, farm, build your home, sort of like better your character, so then you can go down to the dungeons and progress further into the dungeons and sort of progress throughout the game. So finishing Lens Island in the final game is finishing the dungeons. That's effectively like the end of the game. There's one big boss right at the end of the dungeons. There's a whole bunch of bosses throughout the dungeons. And the whole idea is that you slowly sort of get better and better weapons, get better and better at the game, get better food, and really just like kit up your whole character so you're prepared to eventually do the entire dungeon all in one go without dying. And then throughout that time, you're sort of getting further and further and further along throughout the dungeons. They're really, really big. They're like a giant maze. So half of the effort is just sort of exploring the dungeons and figuring out where to go. Alright, I'm not used to using this mace. I didn't bring any food items with me. Well, I'll just kill a few enemies and I'll show you how the mace works. I'll try line up a jump attack. Oh, I sort of missed it. I got a bit of damage off though. So the mace has some knockback to it as well. And another item that has a whole bunch of knockback is the battle axe that I had and the spear. They're really good for knockback. But the good thing about this mace is it has AoE damage. So it'll actually do damage in a radius outside of the mace itself. So you can sort of do damage to enemies, sort of keeping them a distance away, like that. So it can be a little bit more of a safe bet. Actually, saying that, I'll show you something quite cool about this map. I'm totally going to die here, but what I'll do is I'll just run straight down into the big dark area of the cave, and I'll show you what it looks like just to like bunch together all the enemies in one big group and then just take them all on. Because it looks really cool with this mace when you're just like swinging around and seeing all the enemies like sort of explode around you. Alright. I'm definitely gonna die. There's no way I'm living through this. I'll try and collect as many enemies as I can. Jeez. Come on, come here, my children. Come here. Oh no. Okay, this is. Okay, there we go. Oh, we're in the belly of the beast. Alright, here we go. And then we'll do a jump attack. Oh no. I literally died mid-air before I could even finish the jump attack. Okay, that didn't work out very well. I didn't get any. I'll quickly show you what it looks like with the it's really fun to do it with the big battle axe. Can I make a weapon rack? Okay, I'll quickly get some wood, make a weapon rack, and then show you what that looks like with the battle axe, because it's so fun. If you've sort of finished the demo and you're just trying to have fun and build a big house, I really suggest doing it as like a little as like a challenge to yourself. Is try to just run down to the corrupt area and try and kill all the enemies all at once. It's so much fun. And it's definitely best to do with the spear or the battle axe, because they both have a bit more range and they do knockback. And then another thing I'll do is actually get some more health. So I need a little bit more wood. But yeah, I'll bring some pumpkins or something down with me so I can actually heal up a little bit. And that will be the big crescendo before I end the live stream. So I'll go sort of on a little suicide mission into the caves, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, a little bit more wood, and then we'll be able to get the tool chest. Yeah, look, I love Chadwick. I love just chilling on the island, building a house and farming. It's just really pleasant. There's sometimes where like I need to go into the dungeons, but I don't want to, because I'm just like I feel nice and safe up here, just going at my own pace. Okay, I might display some of my weapons while I'm here. And then what we want is equip this one, and then go into my pantry, and I'll equip. I don't need my watering can. All right. So back down the dungeons. Oh, so the really funny thing with doing what I'm about to do with the battle axe is because it's a two-handed weapon, you can't have a torch out. Which means I'm going to have to run down into that corrupt zone in the pitch black and I won't be able to see anything. Oh, I could use my torch. I'll have my torch open. I'll leave my torch out and then I'll, whoops, this guy's chasing me. I'll leave my torch out and then I'll sort of take the axe out at the last minute. I've got a whole series of enemies. I'm just going to run past all these enemies. I just want to go straight. That's the thing about Linzan, you can't really just run past enemies and skip through. This section I'm going in now, you sort of can. But like they're so quick, they'll just chase you. Like they'll just catch up to you straight away. And there will be multiple types of enemies in the full game. So this is just one type of enemy in this in this one. But in the full game, there's going to be a whole bunch of different types of enemies. Some slower, more tanky enemies, enemies that shoot lightning, enemies that are a bit more ranged types. There's bosses. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, I'm just eating up all my pumpkins. I'm just going to collect all these enemies, and then I'm going to take out my axe in the pitch black. We really can't see anything. All right, let's do it. You can just see them all just like crumble beneath me. Oh, that's so cool. I might even get them here. One more. I don't know how I did that, but you can see how fun that is, just to run into all of them all at once, and then just swing your. Oh no, we got one glitched out over here. I'll pickaxe him. He probably won't. Oh no, he didn't like that too much. Oh, I had a couple. I missed a couple back here. Sorry. Yep. YouTube probably hates how dark this all is, so you probably really struggled to see some of that. Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Oh, okay, well now's the time to ask me any more questions before I end the stream. Stream for about 2 hours now. It's been really, really fun chatting to all of you, showing you the demo that is now available on Steam to play for free, PC and Mac, so go play it now. Leave me all your feedback, let me know if you liked it. It is just a demo, so it's a very small taste of what Lens Island will be. The game is far bigger, with far more features and content and stuff to do. Oh, these guys are all still here. I forgot about all these enemies. I guess I'll fight these. I love this battle axe. It's so fun. There we go. Yeah, so you can play the demo now. Yeah, leave me any questions. I'll quickly answer them now before I end the stream. So now's your time to get it in. I'll have a quick chat with you all. But I just want to get up. I want to get upstairs where it's nice and peace and quiet. I don't have to worry about all these enemies. I can't show the town just yet. I'll make some more devlog videos in the coming months. So I'll be showing you more stuff about the game as time goes on. I'm just playing the demo now. Like I'm not inside the game engine or anything. I'm just playing the demo on Steam. So I will be showing more behind the scenes stuff later on. Alright, what questions do you have? Show us the town, yeah. It is in the demo, it's always peaceful above the ground. I'll get a cool little angle of the house here while I chat to all of you. Go into screenshot mode, try and get the sun behind the house. And then turn on some depth of field. Isn't that nice? Okay, cool. Awesome. We've got a nice little view of the house while I talk to all of you. Yeah, so it is peaceful in the demo. There's nothing that will hurt you. In the full game, there will be some other islands that you can swim to and unlock that will have enemies on them. But you will never have to worry about enemies coming into your home or anything sort of disrupting you, because all the places that you can build, there's no enemies. It's all peaceful. So you can choose to just build a house and farm and live the peaceful life if you want. Theoretically, you could play Lens Island without even going into the caves at all. It would just be a bit hard, but you totally could play the game like that. I'll try not to talk about the story too much. It's a long story, but I guess the quick synopsis, without giving too much away, is that I'm trying to figure out how to go about this. Basically, Lens Island is like a really special place where a comet once landed, and Lens Island is effectively over the top of the comet, and that comet was filled with lightstone. So it was like this special comet that came from a different planet, and this comet was made from a material that humanity has never seen before, called lightstone. And now this entire island sits upon like this big deposit of lightstone, and people from all over the world used to come to this island to mine the lightstone, but they figured out, because it was really powerful, it was like, sort of like an infinite power source, but they worked out that with great power can harness great evil. So a lot of bad stuff happened as well, and then now you playing as Len, you're sort of walking around the island, going down to the caves and discovering the whole sort of history behind what happened down in the caves where people were trying to mine this limestone and all of that. it's not really a story-driven game. Like it's not very full-on story. There is definitely background behind it, and you'll be able to sort of uncover some stuff. Um, but yeah, and so we've definitely thought about the story. We've constructed the whole sort of system around the story and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we'll have to try and we'll be introducing a lot of story elements throughout development as we go. It doesn't use HDRP. Lenzarn's made using Unity 2018, and it's made using the inbuilt render pipeline. The built-in render pipeline. So it's using a really old version of Unity, and everything that looks pretty is because we've had to hack together a lot of stuff to make it look pretty. It's been quite difficult, so I wouldn't suggest it. The grass is using Unity's terrain like grass system. The trees are all speed tree. Like I made the trees and they're all hand placed. They're not using the terrain system or anything. And the vegetation is also all like hand placed. They're just like separate assets. Well, look, I think I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It was really, really cool to have you all here, play through the demo. Like I said, a whole bunch. You can play the demo now for free. The link's in the description. You can make any content that you want on the demo. You can stream it. You can make videos. We highly encourage it. Have been watching a whole bunch of Let's Plays the past few days. It's been really fun. And you don't have to worry about us copyright striking any music or anything because we made all the music in the demo. So you don't have to worry about that. The rolling mechanic is something that will get nerfed for the proper game because there will be sort of stamina to the roll. So you won't be able to keep rolling over and over and over. Once you roll a couple of times, there'll be like the roll will get put on a cooldown for a few seconds, and you won't be able to roll for a little while. So it'll be something that will actually be sort of mitigated. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the nice things you've had to say. It's been really, really cool. Been nice talking to all of you and showing you the game. Obviously, I don't really show my face too often because it's just not by choice or anything. I'm just too busy talking about the game. Like no one really cares about looking at me. They just want to see the game. So yeah, awesome. All right, see you, everybody. It's been so fun streaming, and you can tune into the Steam live stream this Friday. So 2 days from now, around the same time, I'll be streaming. So take care, everybody, and have an awesome morning or afternoon or wherever you are in the world. Have a good day.